put down here? Hello.
What's up, everyone? This is Lord Skunk's stream.
Stu, am I on?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, buddy.
Okay, how's it going?
Good, good. Just starting the stream right now. Obviously, guys, Yo-Yo Yoda's very excited to be in here. We do have some topics to talk about. If you guys are watching by any other means other than YouTube, hurry up and get over to YouTube right now so you can get in on this live stream, get in on the chat. It's already blowing up. We got a lot to talk about. EA Jesse released some notes about an update coming out next week.
Yeah.
Lot of things changing. Looks like they are going to try to actively not kill the speed meta. I've seen that being thrown around already in chats. Not kill the speed meta, but definitely reduce its effect. I'm going to have a couple guests with me to talk about all of this. On the line with me right now is Yo-Yo Yoda. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
And everybody say hi to Yo-Yo Yoda. Obviously, everyone wants to hear what Yo-Yo Yoda has to say. And Ramon's going to be joining us, also known as Ramon.
Ramon!
He's going to be joining us in just a little bit here. So, anyway, Yoda, you've seen the notes. What do you think about all of this?
Yeah, I am happy that they're, going to be introducing these new mechanics. It's a positive for the community. We've all been, kind of stuck wondering, when are they going to make this next step for us? All of us have been either, gearing as much as we can or even hoarding as much as we can. So I think it's a big step in the right direction. So that way, we can really get this ball rolling. I mean, for me, it was, just been hoarding. Fortunately, I was one of the ones who pre-crafted some of the materials that you can't get anymore. So I've just been gearing a lot of my tunes, just waiting for these new guilds to start, and these new battle mechanics. Some really exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. There was a note in there saying that there's going to be protection.
That's right. Yeah, so I think that's just what they were initially calling it, the fortitude, and instead going to be calling it the protection. So from what I hear, we're going to have a little bar above, like a health bar in a way, and you will actually have to deplete that in order to start doing real damage to the tune.
Yeah, and they've said before that a lot of what they want to do is they're trying to stop the one-shotting before a tune even gets to do any damage or gets to go at all.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, some of the devs, from some conversation I've had, they have said that it's not impossible to one-shot somebody. It's just going to be a lot more difficult. So, yeah. Again, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to address. They said that they're going to modify damage, according to speed factor. So I don't know what that means for people like Ray or even Leia. And if Leia really wasn't even hitting that hard. She was kind of a strictly RNG tune. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do and see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, definitely. Let me pull up the notes right here. And see what we got. Oops, something happened here.
Yeah, I just want to address something real quick. I see Clown Rider was asking, did you get the Vader Shard achievement thing? And I just want to tell everybody that if you do see that if you reset your game and those achievements are reset and it's offering you more Vader Shards, be real careful with that because I know it's not really an exploit, but if you 7-star your Vader, you're going to have to do some splaining because they will try to ban your account if you're not careful about it. So again, if you see that, just immediately notify EA Jesse, either CG John, one of those folks, and just explain what happened, and they will try to correct it. Because again, they do not want anybody having a 7-star Vader right now. They've made that apparent in the past, and they will hunt folks down who are trying to use that and don't make it known.
Yeah, exactly. There is a glitch in iOS devices that has to do with Game Center.
Yep.
Um, it is something that if it happens one time to you, I don't think it's going to be an issue. But obviously, I did not collect all the achievements, so it's something you got to be aware of. I mean, I don't think they're really going to come after you if it's just one time, but obviously, it is something that's going to be exploited. I'm not going to say how you can.
Right.
I don't want to spread this, but the glitch did happen to me today.
Yep.
I have reached out to the devs about it. They are aware of it. They're fully aware of it.
Right. And just if it does happen to you, whoever it might be, my suggestion, because we've had a few of our own guild members who've ran into this issue as well. Um, just take a screenshot of your roster and everything else. Collect as much information as you can, because they're definitely going to go in and modify your account.
Oh yeah, I'm sure once they find it, once they see that, they'll be able to adjust and take it out. But one thing they will be looking for is if this has happened multiple times within a short time frame, and if it
Right.
has, obviously
Yep.
you've been exploiting what the glitch is in iOS,
Right.
and they're more than likely going to ban your account. Do we have Reman with us?
Yeah. I
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey,
Hey,
what's
how
going
you
on,
doing,
Reman?
brother?
All right, so we got him in the. I'm sorry, Yoda. What were you saying?
No, yeah. Like I said, I just really I want to make sure that the community is aware of that. Like I said, it's happened to quite a few folks. They are aware of it, and I think one of the devs did post. He said, we understand that it's a glitch, and you may have errantly collected those achievements, not thinking the consequence of it. But if you don't make it known, or if you do it multiple times, your account can be banned, and that's just not a partial ban. That's a complete ban. You can lose your account. So if you've invested money or if you've invested time, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. But it is something that can happen if there's a little glitch or you need or you see it's
Yeah,
something
it
that
doesn't
can
matter.
happen by accident. I
Just if you,
don't want to say
yeah,
how it can happen
right,
because it's going to give people ideas. So never
exactly.
mind. If it happens to you, just report it. Take some screenshots. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Like I said, just know right now in this stage of the game, they don't want anyone having a 7-star Vader. So
No. No, 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 no. And even though that did happen to me, I do not have enough stars or shards to get him to 7 stars. Don't have
right,
enough shards to get him to 6 stars. He is still a 4-star Vader, so don't worry about
good.
that, guys. Definitely
Yep.
don't need anybody saying, "Hey, look, Sith Lord Stu, blah 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 blah," and then they're coming after me for no reason. So,
So just to address, I see a couple of folks have been asking, where is Skunk tonight?
Skunk is busy tonight. I'm not exactly sure.
That's fine. That's why we're here to hopefully fill in his shoes.
If it happens by, I see
Absolutely.
Dolphin Games here is asking the question, what if it happens by accident? Yes, this is something that can happen completely by accident without you doing anything because it's not. It has to do with the game, but it has to do with something else outside of the game as well. So it is something that can happen completely by accident. But like we said,
Leave it be. Yep.
just leave it be. Take some
Just leave it be.
screenshots.
Take screenshots of your roster. Take screenshots of everything, and then just send it in.
Yep.
Yeah, and a couple of people are asking. Yeah, this is Sith Lord Stu hosting tonight again. Um, yeah, Skunk is busy tonight. Asked me to fill in again, so that's what we're doing. And right now we're talking about notes. If anybody does want to get in on the Skype call and ask us a question, we do have Yo Yo Yoda on the line and Reman. It's actually pronounced Ramon, but I'm never going to let him live
Yeah.
that down. That's
Yeah. It's always Remon
Remod
from
for
here on
life,
out.
baby. Remod for life.
Yep. If anybody does want to hop onto Skype, feel free to send me an email at realsith lordstew@gmail.com. Send me an email with your Skype name and the question you want to ask or the topic you want to discuss real quick, and then we can go ahead and get you on. So just shoot me an email and we can get that on. So anyway, going back to
I'll just kind of, if you don't mind, I'm looking at it right here. I'll just kind of briefly say what they're talking about.
All right.
EA Jesse released notes. He says next week, so we're thinking usually it's the Thursday update, I imagine. He said they're going to be releasing their game balance. And again, these are the things that they've talked about. So the first point that he's making is the new statistic for all characters is going to be this protection, which as when we first heard about it, we thought it was going to be called fortitude. So your character is going to be able to be provided this protection when they reach gear level 7. So again, it's going to be tied to gear. So if you don't know what gear level 7 is, that is going to be the purple ring around your tune. So once you see that, you know for sure you're at gear level 7. And then it says when battling against a character with this protection, the protection meter must be depleted prior to affecting the character's health. So obviously they haven't said exactly how this protection is going to be calculated. So if we think that it starts at gear level 7, I imagine that it's probably, and I think I spoke about this before. I imagine is the highest level gear I think in the game is going to be 12. I think that's where they're going to cap it at. So I imagine 12 is going to be the 100% protection. And then it's going to, kind of dwindle down to gear 7. So the higher gear. So I guess it's, even more important now to really start grinding out some of those gear pieces for your tunes. The next point that he makes is armor and resistance have been adjusted to make them more valuable by providing better damage mitigation. It says advantage has been reworked to grant 100% chance to a score on a critical hit on the next attack. Now, I kind of want to point out during a conversation that I had with a few different folks, we had thought that this advantage was going to affect just the next action. So I don't know if this is worded correctly or incorrectly, but on here it's saying the next attack. So I don't know if that means like a real true attack or if it's going to go away after an action. So I guess we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see about that. Someone's gonna have to mute their audio. Oh, they're getting a little feedback there. I was gonna ask you about that because, and like you just alluded to a moment ago, on the next attack, that's different than next turn.
Yeah, next action, right?
Right.
So I don't know if it's worded correctly here. Again, I think we'll probably get some more clarification in the upcoming days. I'm sure there's going to be lots of folks, trying to pull the ears of the devs and stuff to see exactly how this mechanic's going to work. I feel hopeful because I got to tell you, I am really surprised by the amount of information that EA Jesse has been putting out there. So everyone, if you do get an opportunity, shoot that guy a message, say something on forums. Great job. This is the most information he's been giving us. I applaud him for it. Like I said, I've been an advocate for these guys. They've been working hard for us. So, we should be really thankful for the information that they are releasing. This is good information. This is quality communication. These are things that we weren't getting in the past. So a big applaud to EA Jesse for putting this out there for us.
Yeah, exactly. This is the transparency that we have been asking for. A lot of people have been saying, hey, you need to be more open. We need more information and everything. Well, I mean, he did it. He pretty much did that. Obviously, they can't come out and tell us everything.
Right. And later in the notes, he did it jokingly, too.
Yeah. I know. I saw that. That was pretty good.
So,
Remo.
Yeah, the next thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Remo, what are your thoughts on all of the notes? Have you had a chance to peruse them?
Yeah, absolutely. What I think is that, obviously this new stat is going to make, it's probably going to shake up the PvP a little bit and
a little bit.
Give you, quite a bit actually. But it's going to make characters like Royal Guard a lot more of a menace to deal with, it's going to just it's going to also, bring more importance to gearing your characters overall. So that's a huge thing. And what I wanted to say, just to add to the advantage conversation you guys were just having, is what I feel is going to probably happen is I think that when they first come out with it, it may just be the first action, and then they'll make an adjustment later on.
I,
But
I'm, yeah, I'm still sticking with that. It's going to be the next action because if it's the next attack, then obviously you could do something like a heal and then get a crit off. I think that would just be a little too OP. So I think they're going to do it just as the next action.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And just as far as the protection is concerned, this will make some other characters that haven't been viable in PvP for a while possibly viable again, and also, some of those tankier characters, will be able to, probably add a lot more add a lot more value to your team than they have been recently, since speed has been the most important thing. So,
right. So
now,
right. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
my concern is, do you think that this is going to affect characters like Qui-Gon and Rey? I mean, do you think that they're still going to be as effective with this new stat?
Well, so that's the question I have about Rey. She is strictly DPS, so we are probably going to see a minor nerf to her because she's fast and she hits hard. She's still probably going to wind up being the hardest hitting character in the game, no doubt about it. But something else I want everyone to consider though is because this is tied to gearing, that means your your moderately speeded character, if he is geared higher than an opponent's 7 gear, so let's say you have an 8 gear, that means you're going to be offered more protection. So what that means for you is you have the ability, if you have gear 8 tunes going up against some gear 7s, you have a wider variety of meta choices now. So again, you're going to be offered a little bit of additional buffer. So realistically, what that means is people can go after the characters that they want to. I'm not going to say all of them are going to be viable, but you're going to be able to really go after some of those tunes that you've really been wanting to work on, gear them up as high as you can, and you'll get definitely some more variety just from that.
That's really what we've been looking for all along, right? I mean, it's the ability to try out some different characters and not have to use characters because everyone else is using them, right?
Yeah, and because they've made gearing the way that, and again, this has been their master plan. The way so even for me, I pre-crafted some of the materials, and this is how it's going to be. You're going to have to make an active choice as far as who you want to pursue now, because if you choose wrongly or you're not sure and you make the mistake of gearing a tune up, it will take you some time to work in another character now. So again, that's the benefit of this. That's the beauty of this. We're going to see. We're not going to see the perfect composition anymore. We're not going to see the same teams. We're going to see a bunch of different squads because the way that they're making it, I don't think there's going to be one perfect squad. We're not going to see a billion Dooku's. We're not going to see those things because any team, I think, has the potential to be viable.
Now another thing is the way it's worded in the post. It seems like, I could be wrong here. I mean, maybe every character will have it, but doesn't it say that characters that have protection? I mean, doesn't it say that somewhere in there where the way it's worded, it almost seems like not every single character will have protection?
No, it says it just says
added to all characters starting next week.
Yeah, all characters starting next week,
okay,
right?
sorry.
And it first becomes available when a character reaches gear level 7.
Right. And now, see, my question, and maybe you guys have some more information on this, the protection levels. Is it the same for every character, or is someone that's lower health, like a Rey, going to get a little more protection than somebody like a tank?
Well, so just in my mind, to simplify things, I believe that they're just going to make it a blanket amount. I don't know. So if they make adjustments according to health, then again they're kind of detracting away from what they're really getting at. So in my opinion, I don't know. I haven't really heard anything, but I believe that it's just going to be one stat, and then depending where you are, that's how much of it you get. So there's going to be a whole, and I think that's just going to be one flat number.
Okay, so and then the percentage, what you were talking about with the gearing levels, then it's just going to be the same. It's not going to be based off of their total HP or anything else like that.
That's my assumption. I mean, from the information that I've been able to gather and from what I've heard, I hear it's just going to be one, just across the board amount. And again, we're still a week out, so those things, it could change. And I'm not saying that it's set in stone now, but from just what I've heard is that it's just going to be a single drawn from one single amount, and that single amount being the highest at a gear 12. So you're just getting a percentage of that total amount, depending on the gear level.
And essentially, we'll be getting like a second health bar on each character.
Right now, right. So I don't know if they're gonna. So and some questions we've been shooting out there, at least some folks from my guild is, at least we've been pondering is will special damage or other forms of damage affect that protection more than what normal damage were? It will, so there's lots of factors in here that we don't know. So hopefully that they will make some clarification on these.
What do you think about those characters that will be able to break through or penetrate armor?
Well, right, and that's kind of what I was alluding to there. Is just like, so we don't know how specific forms of damage are going to affect this protection. As like I'll take Magma Trooper as for instance. His special ability says he bypasses all armor when he makes that attack. It comes up as white colored damage. So I don't know if that's going to take away more from the protection as normal damage would. I mean, we again, so those are things we won't know until we see it, I think.
And then, so my question would be then, with all of these changes, is somebody like FOTP who saw a rise and then quickly dropped off because he's just so slow and squishy, is
Right.
he now going to have a chance to come back and shine?
Right, and that was I think that was like one of the first questions I saw after this post was made was like, well, let's talk about FOTP. He's got no health and he's slow. He already hits like a truck. Or is that going to put him?
And Tassine, I did see that you actually just asked that question. So yeah, we're both on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Yo-Yo Yoda, you're actually being asked a question right now.
Okay.
Alan Hall is saying, is white damage true damage?
Well, I don't know what you mean by true, but right. I mean, I
think that means so armor ignored. Right. Nothing's attenuating it.
Right. So that is according to what I've heard. So that they've never released the actual the formulas behind anything here. A lot of this is just guesswork. But yes, so what I've heard is that when it's white damage, it is unhindered. So there's no deduction from that total amount.
So things, and I see Solidus123 is saying Ahsoka with her speed and everything. And I'm seeing Nick S here mentioning Darth Maul. Seems like people are really excited about these characters that we haven't been using because they're just so slow / squishy that now it's like, hey, we can start bringing these characters to the forefront.
Right, and I had been asking about Ahsoka as well. So, and again, there's just a lot of things. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions coming from these things, and I'm hopeful that the devs will, get back to doing some questioning and answering, because some of us that are, we love this game so much, we want to know everything about it. How does all the mechanics work? How are you guys, coming up with, how do you get A plus B equals C? That's the things that we want to know. So just like Ahsoka, that's a good example. Her base speed, are they going to be basing this off, the speed, in speed to damage modifiers? Are they using base speed, or are they using the amount of speed that they could get from, any inherent bonus that the character themselves gives, like Ahsoka? She gives herself at a certain ability level a plus 45 modifier to speed. So, Is that going to influence? Will the game do a check to see where that character sits at once they enter a battle? Lots of questions. I know it's
I know
you know
there are a lot of questions, and one
I
question.
have to think. I have to think that since they just recently updated Ahsoka, that they had to have the new update in mind when they were making her adjustments.
right, right. I think again, hadn't heard anything, but I think they're just going to do it off of a base speed. They're probably I don't know how deep they're going to want to, because obviously the more complex you make a machine, that there are more parts that can break down. So I think they're going to try to simplify it as best as they can. So that way, if there are any bugs, they can adjust them accordingly. So I see them as using a base speed modifier to make these adjustments.
One question that just popped into my head: what does all this do to Royal Guard? Does this take away from his auto taunt?
Right.
I think this, if anything, actually amplifies Royal Guard and makes him even more of a viable option. I mean, with an added layer of protection, I mean, he's already pretty difficult to take down. Now he's going to have another layer of protection on him, and he'll be putting up taunts whenever a character goes below 50% health, which I guess now we're going to have to wait till their protection is gone and then they're at 50% health.
Yeah, I mean, right. So right. I just saw a question on the live chat too. Just we'll kind of get back to this. So it's Christian. I don't know if it's Cologne, but just he was asking about PvP replays and PvP. Christian, we'll kind of get back to that. We just kind of want to address some of these things up front first. But good question. Just if you can shoot that back at us here at just a little bit of time, we'll be happy to answer that for you.
Yep, and Barry B is asking at Yo-Yo Yoda. And Barry B, everyone look at Barry B and look at James. They're doing the at with our names after that. That's perfect. That makes it
Right.
much easier for us to spot your questions. And
Right.
Barry B is asking, will leaders that give added defense become more viable?
Right. So absolutely. So that's what the goal of. So characters, and I'll point first my finger at I'm a Gundy. He's slow. He's got some great synergies. One thing that he does very well is give all of his squad mates defense up.
Yeah.
Right. So, and he does that very effectively. So that's what they're trying to get at. So we don't know what formula they're going to use in order to make those calculations and how that is going to affect damage. But we've been told that they want to make defense more viable. So two leaders or even characters with special abilities to get defense up.
What do you think is going to happen now in PvP matches? Because obviously this is going to extend the matches quite a bit. Sometimes right now even, you get to the point where you're with you have like a minute and 50 seconds left, a minute and 45 seconds left. Do you think we'll have enough time to finish all these matches?
So you've had a match that went 3 minutes and 30 seconds? No, I'm just joking. Yeah, right, exactly. So they are probably going to have to adjust. Again, they're probably not going to do it initially, but they are going to definitely be monitoring the length of PvP battles, because we're already talking. We'll look at these tanks. People have pretty high hopes for some of these really tanky characters like a SWGOH Press. Barris could start seeing some serious action. I've been seeing her crop up every now and then in PvP now.
Oh yeah, Barris Offie.
Yeah, right.
Maybe she'll see. Finally, we may get a
Yeah,
damage increase from her.
Right,
Finally.
she won't have a limp lightsaber anymore.
Yeah, she won't be walking around with that noodle there. One character that just popped up that people are asking about, Chewie.
Yeah, right, exactly. He's super slow, but super tanky.
And what is his leader ability? Is that defense?
Plus 50 defense right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That could be good.
And he could be one of those characters that possibly might work, because think about this: his basic has a 50%. I think is it 50% chance to reduce 50% turn meter.
You know what? Actually, hold on. Now that we're talking about Chewie, I haven't even looked at Chewie in a long time. Let's take a look at him at level 80 abilities. So
Right.
his bowcaster will deal physical damage to target enemy with a 55% chance to remove 50% turn meter. That could be big.
And so, in my estimation, because now we're seeing that speed is not going to be playing such a huge factor. So an idea that a lot of folks have been kicking around is turn meter. What is turn meter going to mean? Well, since they're essentially reducing damage of some of the higher speeded tunes and increasing some of the lower speeded tunes, it would be beneficial, in my opinion, to uh, find characters that will give your squad turn meter. And the reason why I say give your squad and not take away from the enemies is because turn meter reduction is resistible. So, you know what? I can see, again, a taunt, even like Stormtrooper Han. I can see, lots of other characters out there that are going to be able to manipulate turn meter. And it could potentially play a really big factor.
Clones.
Yeah, exactly. I've already invested in clones.
Who haven't you invested in, though?
Right.
There's actually a lot of turn meter. There's actually a lot of turn meter manipulation with the rebel team in general. So that team may be viable.
Right. James, SWGOH, he just put that out there. He said, "Is Akbar any good?" Well, Akbar might be good. I mean, he does have an ability to give somebody 100% turn meter, so that could be a possibility. I mean, again, we don't know, but I think turn meter is going to be playing a pretty big factor here. And Riemann, I hated to cut you off there. What were you about to say?
I was saying the same thing. I mean, rebel teams, may be a lot more effective now because there's a lot of turn meter manipulation with those rebel teams. I mean, Leia, I believe, gives turn meter with her basic. Hoth Rebel Scout gives turn meter. Stormtrooper Han gives turn meter. Akbar gives turn meter. So there's a lot of turn meter manipulation with that entire team. So that they could really end up being a quality team moving forward.
Nick
I think
I'm sorry, but Nick S is asking, do you guys see
yeah.
Leia being less effective with this update?
Right. I was just going to mention that exact question. My opinion, it's probably a 50-50 split because if they look at every single turn and not just the numbers in front of them, I mean every single tune, I should say, and not just the numbers in front of them. I would, and if they're real players of the game, I think they're probably going to leave Leia alone because she's an RNG based character. You need some help with her. Her crits can do some serious damage. If she gets that second or even third shot off, but I don't know if they'll touch her.
Well, I hope they kind of leave her be. Maybe take her damage down a little bit, but I don't really see her as too much of an OP character. I mean, maybe her stealth, and then when she comes out of stealth, she can go right back into stealth. That's a little annoying.
What's her basic at level 80?
Her basic at level 80. Let me pull her up. Her basic, hair trigger, deal physical damage to target enemy with a 55% chance to attack a second time and a 40% chance to attack a third time. Each attack has a 50% chance to grant 10% turn meter.
Right.
I'm assuming that's granting turn meter to herself, so every attack, so she could, in theory, gain 30% turn meter.
Right.
On just her normal move.
Right.
So that could be
yeah.
That could be good. And then
that could be pretty serious.
Yeah, that could be. Armor and resistance have also been adjusted to make them more valuable by providing better damage mitigation. So there we go with defense again.
Right.
The advantage thing, we're just going to have to see how that all plays
out.
Once that comes.
I'm sure as this update gets a little bit closer, I feel like they're probably going to break down advantage and hopefully put it into strict terms for us so that way we know for sure.
Dolphin Games just asked, what about Newt Gunray?
Well, so they are right now currently fixing Newt Gunray. It was funny. So today I was actually just screwing around a little bit, and I maxed out the abilities of Newt in my Lando just to see what was going on. It is true, Newt is bugged. They've already said that they're going to fix him here shortly, so they're
Yes.
probably just going to wait until this update comes out. But Newt will just be okay. So his true leader ability says that any ally that is stealth and they get a critical hit, they will get turn meter. So
So
that character,
Ewoks
whoever
and
it might be,
Leia.
right, exactly. So they'll have to be stealth. So could that be good? Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're going to release some more stealth tunes here. One of these days. I mean, um, I don't know exactly who or when, but so as long as you can get a character into stealth mode, Newt will then provide that 25% turn meter gain.
Didn't they say that they were also going to
Oh,
be releasing a character that can manipulate protection?
so yeah, I maybe I'm sure that they're probably going to but um, I don't know, maybe just completely bypass protection. I can't see really making a character where they give protection back, because that's just like a healer essentially. But I could see them releasing a character that ignores protection.
Duncan is
And
asking,
what
what
about
about
healers? Do you think if let's say for example, Luminara heals, she won't be able to heal your protection back. She'll only heal your basic health, right? That's what I'm imagining.
Well, right, yeah, but what I'm saying though is, I don't necessarily see them, making a healer of the protection, because what are they healing? Well, they're just essentially healing an amount of HP. So that's why I said I don't they'll just release regular healers, I think, and then just maybe somebody that can bypass protection. I think that would just make more sense for them.
Duncan is asking
Yeah, that makes.
about old Ben. Will he become a viable leader now?
Yeah. So I've through the grapevine, um, they've been looking at Dooku and his evasion abilities, and how much and how that is affecting the meta. So I think they're going to make a little bit of nerfing to Dooku coming up, a little bit, not too much. You're just not going to see this huge sway in the battle where you've got and I'll tell you, I had a battle today where I won because this guy missed every one of my tunes like 5 times in a row. Didn't touch me. I had all 5 tunes and they were almost max health, and I just wiped him out because my Dooku he was just going nuts. He was doing his thing. They're probably going to nerf the evasion ability a little bit, probably tweak the percentages a little bit there. But old Ben, um, he will act more like Dooku. So he's going to be able to give everybody evasion up. And I believe it's turn meter gain when they do evade. Is that right?
Yeah, it is a turn meter gain, and let me
Right.
look, because even before all of this stuff came out, I was already liking old Ben in the level cap increase as
Oh,
a
yeah, he's
leader,
super tanky, killing. He gives everybody these crazy amount of buffs.
and now
Yeah,
potentially a little bit of a damage increase. But all
right.
allies gain 15% evasion and gain 30% turn meter whenever they do evade an attack. So that could be
Yeah,
pretty
that's
big.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
huge.
let's not forget, guys, Darth Maul's leader ability at level 80 gives out 20% evasion.
Right. Well, it's going to go higher than that too. So, yeah. Uh,
Let's see. There was a question I wanted to get in here real quick. Oh, Dan Carlisle is asking, with the turn meter possibility being at the forefront, what do you think of about the First Order team comp? I
right.
like the
Well,
First Order team comp personally.
I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot more first order, especially if they work this advantage. And again, it's really going to be dependent on Phasma, because here's the reason why. They're going to have to change all of Phasma's abilities. Because Phasma's basic says when she has advantage, her basic attack does more damage. I think it's what 65% right now, something along those lines. So they're going to have to rework that. Her second ability, giving all tunes advantage plus a turn meter buff. I think they're going to keep that one. So yeah, I mean, depending on how they word the advantage and how it's going to work, Phasma's going to obviously play the key to that. But yeah, first order teams are looking pretty good. If you my personal favorite outside of FOTP, who's one of my always big time favorites, but first order stormtrooper.
He's fun, man.
He's a tank. He gives himself advantage.
Counter.
He can inflict speed down. He can counter. Pretty good tune there.
First order officer's got a couple good tricks in his bag too.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah. I mean, so
and that
again,
advantage thing, that first order officer, I'm wondering if they're going to alter those numbers a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Because now, which one is it? Didn't he get normally gains a random ally gains 100%? Oh yeah, this attack deals 25% more damage for each ally that has advantage. That's his normal move, capitalize. So now, if advantage is
if
going
it's
to
an
be
automatic crit, right?
He's going to be murdering people if that stays the same.
Yeah, think about that. If 4 of your tunes have advantage, he does a critical no matter what, and then you add up to 100% more. Well, 125 if himself has advantage. That is nuts.
People are asking, why is Rex not farmable? Finish the thought with the first order officer. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I was just completely agreeing with you. I mean, depending on what his modifiers are to damage, I don't have him maxed out, so I haven't been able to see exactly how hard he hits. But let's just say he has a basic of maxed out at, we'll say, gear 9 wherever, of 3,000.
Right.
Well, a crit does 4,500, and then you times that by 125%. You're talking about an attack that can do on basic with advantage 9 to 10K. That's huge.
Yeah, especially because he gives advantage and Phasma gives advantage, and I think first order Stormtrooper gives himself advantage.
Self-advantage, just like first order TIE pilot gives self-advantage. Right.
Yeah. See, that could be huge, and that would be a little too OP, I think.
That would be tough to deal with.
Yeah, especially when Phasma gives everyone that advantage. That it's lookout. You thought Ray was bad.
I just want to point out. Look at all the characters that we've just covered in these just first opening moments of this live stream. So again, I'm very happy to see all these changes are being made because I mean, look, we've been discussing everybody. I mean, from Rebels to First Order to Jedi. I mean, look at this. These are the possibilities.
For God's sakes.
Right. These are the possibilities that that we've all been wanting to see. So again, I'm very hopeful that this is what they're going to allow us to do. You know what? Today I'm really for this next month I'm focusing on my first order or whoever, and I know I'm going to get because I see how I'm just so happy that that I don't have to have Dooku as my leader anymore.
Yeah, I know, because Dooku has been like the meta. And that's about it. And we've seen it in the servers.
Yep.
We've seen it throughout the entire ranks. 1 to 200 and the top 50. I actually counted it out today. Out of the top 20 in my server, 16 of them were Dooku lead. There was one Akbar in there for some reason. And then a couple Qui-Gon Jinns and a Barriss. Other than that, it was all aboard the Dooku train.
Right.
So and you touched on this real quickly, and this is something that I've been talking about for a while, is now that we know a little bit more information about all of this, I am so excited at the possibilities of teams that we're going to get. Instead of just dealing with all the speed and seeing the same team over and over again, Dooku, Qui-Gon Jinn, Rey, GS, some SIDS are thrown in there, especially in Galactic War. Maybe this will shake things up a little bit and actually be more about strategy instead of go before the other guy and you win.
Right.
This is going to
Yep.
probably make Galactic War a lot more difficult as well.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I want to touch on. I can see I can see Galactic War being real tough now. I mean, you guys think that it was hard before. Well, wait now because you're going to have to go up against squads, unknown synergies until I would say for the first couple of weeks, you're just going to have to. You might not win them all. I mean, I see it being tough. In my Galactic Wars, I'm facing all Gear 8, Gear 9, 7-star, level 74 or 75 squads right now, and it's getting it's getting a little tough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to make things more about strategy and everything like that. I hope they don't change the rules and allow us to keep on retreating and switching characters in and out and all that good stuff. Somebody did make a kind of John Wilkinson
This first,
saying that
this
his
first one,
HRS is almost battle ready. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna have. Oh, here we go. Nicole Bolas. Um, what if a character has foresight and is that going to protect the protection as well?
Yeah, I believe it will absolutely because you're doing a zero amount of damage. They're evading the entire attack. So yeah, foresight could be a good ability to have.
Yeah, that's what I think. But it was mentioned a couple times on here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, protection refreshes every round of Galactic War.
I don't see them. I don't see them doing that.
That would kind of negate the whole attrition thing.
Right, exactly. They want to make I know there's been a lot of people
But
saying
what if they do introduce a character that does give protection?
Well, okay, so all right, I will have to agree with Remon in that regard that you are right. That okay, I really didn't look at it in that perspective, but yes, if they do introduce a character that refreshes some of those protection abilities, that could be pretty big in Galactic War because at this moment I don't see them doing any kind of like you said. They want that attrition. They want you to go through different characters. They want you to expand your rosters out a little bit more. So yeah, that would be actually a good idea. Having
like what I could see is that you have a character that has half health left, right? But because you got a boost in protection, now you have full protection again, so they can't touch your health again until they get that protection down.
right, yeah, that could be a great possibility for sure.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a game changer there.
I'll tell you a character though we haven't even touched on that I'm hoping is going to be a game changer.
Who
is my General Grievous, who's been sitting collecting dust ever since the day I 7 started him, and I can't wait to hopefully because he already does a pretty significant amount of damage, but you have to actually be able to use him first. So I'm hoping that General Grievous will finally get a little bit of playtime.
Sifty King, no, foresight does not equal protection. Those are two completely different things. Nick S. is asking, do you guys think there will be a rise in AoE guys in general now because of the protection? And this is a question that has been coming up quite a lot, and I'm sure you've seen it there, guys.
I've heard a lot about Boba Fett the last couple of days, and a lot of these AoE characters, and yeah, I mean, there's definitely a very good chance that the AoE could be making a comeback. I want to see it first before I start, heavily investing into an AoE team. But
yeah, the downfall of the AoE. Go ahead. Sorry about cutting you off.
I'll say, go ahead, Yoda. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Well, the downfall of the AoE team is that it's a one-shot deal unless you're Lando. If your AoE kind of falls short, then what do you then back up on? Because a lot of these tunes that have the AoE attacks, that is their strongest attack, and their basics are typically weaker than what their AoEs are. So if your AoEs kind of fall short, if there's a dodge or if you don't get through those protections, you don't have much to fall back on afterwards. So AoEs could, but I myself, I don't see a whole AoE squad making a giant revival. Just for those reasons, like I said, with health and protection, going to be a pretty big thing, and we're all going to have probably a couple of tunes in our squad that are going to be pushing 25K or better in health, you're not knocking at least 2 of those tunes then down to 0 health, especially with a protection buffer with an AoE team.
There's just a comment here, but this is a good comment. Donovan is saying, I am still staying committed to developing my Ewok team.
Oh, yeah,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah,
And I'm surprised we haven't even really touched on them.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about turn meter. So I've been kind of playing around with it. I've got my Chirpa up to 7 stars now. I typically throw my Ewok team in at the beginning of my Galactic Wars just for a little bit more additional testing. Absolutely. The neat thing about the Ewoks is if you have Chirpa in there as a leader, he gives on whenever an Ewok does a basic attack, he allows that individual ally to gain turn meter. And the neat thing about Chirpa is he has a special ability which allows multiple Ewoks to use their basic on a single character. So lots of turn meter. Tebow, his second ability, gives I think it's 60 or 70% turn meter to other Ewoks. So yeah, some real positive things coming out of Ewoks.
Turn meter, stealth, retribution. I mean, wow,
right.
you got a lot in those little teddy bears.
Yeah.
Who would you recommend as another character to the fifth character to be with your Ewok team?
Well, so I've been talking about this a little bit right now. What I use, just because of the environment that we're in right now, I've been using Darth Maul as a backup, as the 5th.
Really?
Because and the reason why is because he gives himself obviously turn meter, but when Chirpa does that special attack, he uses another random non-Ewok tune to attack. So if I can finish off a character,
right?
At the highest level, right? I mean. Well, one of the no, it's not at the highest, but close, right? So I mean, but for me, I usually wait until I get a character down to real close to no health. I attack with that Chirpa ability. Darth Maul since he's one of the tunes attacking, that tune dies, that enemy dies. Darth Maul gets 100% turn meter, gets to go again. It's been working pretty well for me.
Yeah, I know, and I'm looking at the level 80 abilities right here, and that Tribal Unity move that Chirpa has, it grants all allies speed up for 2 turns, then calls all Ewok allies and one other random ally to assist.
Wow. Right, that's his max ability. Right, that's crazy, right?
Wow, that's insane.
Now here, so Dazzard, he put out a question. Do you think there's a potential for new factions to be added in later? I just want to say yes. I know. Just from some of the data mined info that I've seen, I don't know how soon this will be a thing, because we've data mined ships a long time ago, but I do see them bringing in more factions for more synergies. Absolutely.
I see Darth Maul being a real serious player moving forward.
Yeah, he definitely. Well, I see viability just about everywhere, but Darth Maul, he's slow, low of health. He's just another one of those tunes that they've been wanting to tweak a little bit. But yeah, absolutely, Darth Maul. For me, with my Ewoks, it's been running pretty good. I don't have too many complaints. I've been running about. So the third node in my Galactic War is usually when I start seeing those, level 70 maxed out, squad. So if I'm able to get to the 4th or 5th node in Galactic War with my Ewoks, who, mind you, they might be all 7-star, but all their abilities aren't anywhere close to max. I think I've got all of them to at least level 3. Chirpa and Ewok Elder are my only ones that I have in the higher ability ranges. So if I'm able to get to node 5 of Galactic War with the squads that I face, I think there already is some viability to the Ewoks. So they're a little bit slower on the speed range. They don't quite hit as hard, so I can see them getting a really nice buff in this update.
And then Scott made a comment, seems like Stormtrooper Han or Daka would make a lot of sense with the Ewoks, and that's where a lot of people go with that. But see, what I like about everything that they're doing with the game is that they're opening up the possibilities. It's not just, you've got these little slower characters, give them a tank. Now it could be, hey, Darth Maul, look at that. Look at how well he works with everybody.
Yeah, well, and the reason, again, why I choose a high DPS character in my 5th slot is just for that reason. The Ewoks themselves don't hit too hard, except for Ewok Scout. That guy can hit like a ton of bricks if you get his special ability up. But I choose just to put a bigger DPS tune in the fifth slot because of Chirpa's special ability. You can definitely take out a character that is an annoyance pretty quickly. And just if you put somebody like a Stormtrooper Han or even a Doc in there, you're still limiting yourself as far as DPS output. So, but again, it could change in the update, so we'll just have to see and see what goes on there.
Nick,
Yoda, when you
sorry.
when you get to 77, can you record the Cantina battles to see what's going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. And if so, I did do my first. By the way, I did do my first official live stream the other day. I don't know if anybody was able to catch. I probably had maybe 4 or 5 viewers, but I was okay with that. I kind of went through some of the newer missions as well. I didn't really touch base on just some of the normal missions because I think if you're already at that point and you have a pretty good squad, you should be able to get through most of the normal missions. Now it's the hard nodes on some of those missions that are can get kind of crazy. But absolutely, I'm still a little ways out from 77. I would say I'm going to hit 75 tomorrow, and then I still have to love to 75 to 76 is 11,000 exp, and then from 76 to 77 is 12,100. So we're looking at 23,100 exp. I got to make up somewhere. So I'm thinking 7 to 8 more days out before I'm going to hit 77. But I absolutely am wanting to make videos for all of the new upcoming missions.
That's great, and it's crazy. I mean, when you get to 79 to 80, it's going to be 15,400 XP, right?
Yeah, 79 to 80 is 15.4. That's correct.
And guys,
That's
Spartan Ghost
going to be
84
that's gonna be
said, I'm
fun.
definitely nervous about the update, but luckily we have channels like this to help us out with the upcoming changes. And yeah, definitely, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to talk more about the game, if you want to talk more with us one-on-one, me, Riemann, Yo-Yo Yoda, please join the Discord app. Join us in the Discord community. There's no requirements to get in. I just put the link up in there.
Right.
All you have to do is just download the app on your phone, iPad, get the program on your computer. I'm on there pretty much all the time, as much as I can be, answering questions, fielding everything, getting ready for all the guilds that's going on. So please join us on the Discord app and hit that subscribe button.
Yep, absolutely, everyone. I got to say, I try to make a presence. So I'm the guy that's on all the forums. I'm in my own guild chat. I'm talking to other members of other guilds. I'm on the official forums. I'm on Reddit. I try to stay in the Discord. Often you'll see me in the voice channel. So if you really want to, ask me some questions, I'm typically in the voice channel. I try to pay attention to the general cantina there in Discord. It's a pretty good community there. Lots of different things being discussed. Not only Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but other things as well. But yeah, I'm typically on the voice chats in there throughout the day, just monitoring, conversation. See what thing if I can add anything valuable to the conversations there.
And Yo-Yo Yoda does have a lot of. He has every character unlocked, most of them at 7 stars. He has a real in-depth knowledge of the game. So does Riemann. Riemann has a great knowledge of the game, great collection of tunes. I mean, we do know what we're talking about. We have helped people go from struggling to break the top 200 to finishing top 10, top 20 in their arena every single day.
Yeah, somebody asked me today, what's my roster look like? I try to, I've been putting myself out there for like once a month. I'll put a new roster update out there for everyone to see. But right now, as it stands, I have every single character 7-star except for Vader. He is now 36 of 85. I have 10 Gear 9 tunes. I have 24 Gear 8 tunes and 23 additional 7-gear tunes. So for a total of 60 tunes, or 60 or 61 tunes that are at least Gear 7. I've been just in the last few days, well, in the last few weeks since they made this cap increase, I've been just trying out different comps. So I've been really trying to be knowledgeable of all the tunes out there and what they're capable of. I don't have all the abilities maxed out on most of these tunes, but again, I am definitely really looking at all the tunes and seeing what their viabilities are. But we did have one other question out there that I saw, that Barry B. We didn't touch it. He asked me, any predictions on the next obscure tune to get a game-changing buff like RG did? Well,
Good question.
I'll tell you that's a pretty loaded question, because I think all of the tunes are about to get a buff or change. So we're gonna have to wait and see how some of these mechanics work out. There are just so many changes that are about to be made to this game that there's just no telling who's going to be the next major player in the game. Hey, I like the Ewoks, so I like the whole Ewok squad, and I think this is something we touched base on before. Though. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying. I'll say it after.
No, yeah, I was just going to say, I think in other live streams, if you haven't watched some of our live streams, you can go back and watch some of those as well. But I have always, now the way that they're changing this game, I think that there's not going to be that one tune that's a game changer. I think it's going to be a whole squad that's going to be the game changer. So I mean, with all these new synergies and all these new buffs, nerfs, everything else going on, they're really focusing on making a squad viable, a squad game changing, not just that one tune.
Nick has touched on something real quick. He's saying that because of all of these changes, because of the protection, armor, resistance changes, advantage now being changed, the speed now being a more important part of calibrating the damage output, he's saying that now he's hesitant to start leveling tunes and gearing tunes and doing all of that. What would your guys' strategy? I want to hear from Ramon first.
Yeah,
what would your what would your guys' strategy be now that we know a little more information about this coming out next week?
Well, my strategy would be, obviously, you don't want to make any drastic changes until you know exactly what's coming. And again, if you're saving resources, if you're holding on to your tokens or holding on to your crystals or holding on to your credits, continue to do that. And if you're currently working on any characters, finish those characters. What's probably not a good idea right now is to start with new characters until which direction they're going to be going in going forward. So if you have to wait a couple of weeks to start on some new characters, I would say now is the time to save your resources if you haven't been doing that, to see which way the meta shifts and see what characters are going to be more viable in a couple of weeks, and then start pumping your resources into those characters.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with most of that. Depending on where you are, if you're low level, high level, I think we touched on this in another conversation we were having a few live streams ago. If you're low level, you still want to invest, because you want to be able to work yourself up into the PvP situations where you can get some payouts, more crystals, expand your rosters. Larger rosters right now are going to be imperative. Especially, we haven't even touched on the guild aspect yet in these new raids, but I believe that having a more diverse roster will help everyone out there. But yeah, if you've been hoarding, if you've just been saving up and you're really not sure, just wait it out, because a lot of us who are in the upper tiers of PvP and these huge rosters, you will see the change. We will let everyone else know what these changes are looking like, because we're going to be trying everything. It's a good thing to be on the Discord app, to look at the forums, because you'll get a lot of good information in the next upcoming couple of weeks. Because for a lot of folks it is a grind. That's why in all my videos I say, hey everyone, grind on, because you have to pay attention to where you are devoting your resources to now. Because again, if you just spend a gear here or spend a gear there, some of these 20 or even 50 pieces, and that tune becomes not viable, well then you've wasted a lot of time and a lot of resources. So yeah, I would just say for right now, just hold off if you're unsure. But if you've got characters like a Qui-Gon Jinn who's got a toolkit, if you've got a Royal Guard who is the best tank in the game, if you've got these characters that you're comfortable with, I would say continue to develop them. And again, for some of those new players, new beginning players, I would say you shouldn't hesitate. Just keep developing a lot of your tunes now, because you're going to want to get into some of those positions where you're going to get more Galactic War tokens, more arena tokens, more Cantina tokens, things of that nature.
Yeah, if you're not running a full 7-star squad right now in PvP, you shouldn't even be thinking about saving resources right now.
Yeah. So does anybody want to? Do we want to kind of change gears a little bit here and kind of
Well, I was going to
read
say
what else
maybe
Jesse said? Yeah, about
I was
like
gonna
trades.
I was going to add, just going back to what you were saying about how long it was going to take you to get to 77. There's an interesting video I saw on YouTube from Trademark over in Team Instinct. He posted a video the other day that has a calculator that can actually, you can actually type in the resources that you currently have right now, and it will calculate how many days it's going to take for you to get to 80.
Oh,
Yep,
got an incoming call from Lord Skunk himself.
Uh-oh.
Yo, let me call you back in just a second here.
Yeah, what did that say?
Hello?
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 Hey, what's going on? I'm here. It's Ramon.
What's going on? Hey, Yoda, are you there?
Oh yeah, sorry, it put me on hold there for a second.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
The
same here.
Skype's a little weird. When somebody calls in, it won't just automatically add them. Okay, so let me call him back.
I was just saying, Skunk's probably wherever he's been, he's probably had an earbud in listening to our conversations anyways.
Oh, I'm sure, and I would love to hear his insights and everything, because this is kind of big. Skunk, you there?
I checked at dinner. Yeah, you hear me?
Yep.
I checked real quick right before dinner, and because I left for dinner, and all I heard was something about, oh yeah, Skunk's really busy tonight or something like that. Like I'm too busy for everybody. Like I just don't have time for anybody. Is how you guys made it sound.
Oh no, I
you're a
didn't. I
busy
didn't
guy.
want to speak for you or do anything like that. I was just saying, yeah, he's just busy tonight.
Yeah. Well, here's the only thing. Here's the only thing that obviously. You guys are still new to doing these live streams. Okay, first off, we would never look at this stuff on the official forums. We'd only look at this stuff on lordskunk.com, because that's the only place that you want to get your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news. Okay?
Oh, busted.
Yeah.
Just letting everybody know. Skunk called me earlier. He told me he had to go to a Pokemon tournament. That's why he couldn't get on earlier.
It was double promo. It was Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon.
Yeah, right. And then you guys went Kimbits with some magic on the side.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I used to be a tournament magic player, so no issues with the collectible card game.
Well, you're still playing one right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right.
No, Skunk can't stream 7 days a week. He's got a family too, so
Yeah, well, my daughter's on spring break, so
Right.
yeah, so I have her tonight instead of tomorrow night. So who knows?
she's
Maybe I'll
enjoying
sneak
that.
Yeah, maybe I'll sneak in and maybe I'll do a little stream tomorrow night if I don't get too busy. But yeah, cool. Well, did you guys talk about the guilds and all that? Did you talk about the
Yeah. So that's where we were gonna about to change focus a little bit. We just covered all of the new update that Jesse threw out there as far as the changes to the new protection, the new how armor and resistance are going to be playing a bigger factor, and some of the advantage. But yeah, we were going to get to the guilds, and let's hear what Lord Skunk has to say.
Janana? Yeah, I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up for the guilds. I'm excited about it. So here's what we're doing, just so everybody knows. I mean, there are guilds out there. Obviously, Yo-Yo Yoda's in a guild called Team Instinct. There's also a guild that I'm affiliated with called Fear the Boot. But I want everybody to know that and they have requirements to join those guilds. But I want everybody to know that if you can't join one of those guilds, or if for any reason you decide that you don't want to join one of those guilds, we're going to have guilds for every single member of the LordSkunk.com community. Everybody is welcome to join. We're going to have different tier levels based on your player level. So you'll be with other people that play like you play. So everybody can continue on and do these events. Now I'm really excited because they got the 7 difficulty levels. So even if you're a new player, we'll have a spot for you in one of our guilds. The guild names, I've been hitting EA Jesse up on Twitter. I've been going back and forth trying to squeeze as much guild information as I possibly can from him, and he's just little bitty tidbits is all I'm getting. So hopefully maybe I'll hear back. Actually, I'll check Twitter right now. I haven't checked that in a little bit. So if you haven't done so, make sure you follow me, LordSkunk1 on Twitter. But yeah, I'm trying to get as much information as I can so we can be prepared for it. But basically, it looks like, he said when you create the guild name, it's going to have the same restrictions as basically when you create your player name. So I'm assuming you're not going to have like a bazillion characters. I've seen some of the guild names that are proposed guild names that are out there. They're pretty long, some of them. So I don't think they're going to be able to be that long. I think you're going to have a smaller window or a smaller amount of characters you're going to be able to use. I'm trying to get him to allow me to use periods in the guild name. So we'll see. Let's cross our fingers that we can do that, because we can make it LordSkunk.com, whatever, Squad 1, Squad 2, whatever. But we'll see. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to growing this thing because, I love the fact that there's these super competitive guilds with Team Instinct and Fear the Boot. I love that. I've always been a part of a very competitive guild, but I also know for a lot of other people that are new to guilds, I get a lot of messages from people that don't know anything about guilds. They've never been in a guild. They don't know what they entail. They don't know, how they join one or what they need to do. I want to be able to provide these guilds through our community, through our Discord, which I think we're getting close to about 500 users on Discord. I want to be able to make sure every single person has a home in a guild. So everybody's going to be able to join. Everybody's going to be able to complete, because you have to be in a guild to complete these dailies. That's already been said. So he's already confirmed that. You have to be in a guild to complete these dailies. So, if you can't get into one of these other guilds, and you want to just get into one with the community, that's fine. And plus then we can with our guild we can race Yoda, Yoda's guild, Team Instinct. We'll race them at the top, and we'll see how we do. I'm sure they'll have guild leaderboards. It'll be fun. So it gives us something good to talk about.
Skunk, I want to ask you a question. Going forward, now that you know about this protection stat that's coming next week, does that make you want to change any of the characters that you're working on right now, or shift focus whatsoever?
No, because all those characters are going to get it. So. And again, they talked about speed again, and it's kind of leading into what I was already saying. Let me pull it up here real quick. He said, where's it at? I just read this. Where was it? Balance adjustments have been made to all light. No, that's not it. Where is it? Where's it? We're talking about speed.
Right above it.
Right above it? Okay. Speed will now be more important in calibration of a character's damage output. Generally speaking, faster acting characters will see a damage reduction, and slower characters will see an increase. So there's no huge swing, it doesn't sound like. They're just saying what I've been saying all along, is that, of course, yes, if you attack faster, I use the dagger and a broadsword analogy, that if you can attack faster, you can hit. But I can hit somebody 20 times with a dagger, and I can only hit them maybe once or twice with a broadsword. So, yeah, when I hit them with that broadsword, it's going to hurt. But I'm going to be able to attack really fast. So Qui-Gon Jinn, man, I'm telling you, and Yo-Yo Yoda and I talked about this on a couple live streams ago, he's got a great kit. He's super cheap to gear. He's 360 purples. I think the cheapest, almost one of the cheapest of all the characters to gear, from 1 to 80. He's got turn meter reduction for the enemy and turn meter gain for himself. He can remove taunt. He can call an assist. I mean, the guy's just a beast. So no, I'm not going to change anything there. Now, the only thing that I'm considering doing is, if how all this pans out, is I might put Dooku off to the side at some point as we get closer to 80, and bring in Yoda. Because Qui-Gon Jinn is going to be the fastest character in the game when he's leader, and Yoda will be the true fastest character in the game if he's on Qui-Gon Jinn's team. So Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn are still going to be crazy fast, faster than Rey, faster than Leia. I think that's going to be a great combo. So for those of you guys that have not got Yoda or are thinking about getting Yoda the next time he comes around, yeah, I would definitely do it. I think his kit and Qui-Gon Jinn's kit are just too strong to pass up.
So just to address some of these questions that we're seeing popping up here in the chat, they're kind of a little bit more focused on the guilds right now. But I think two thumb Bob Kelso said, "Are guilds based on time zone?" So from what I've learned about the guild so far, it's going to be the time zone of whoever is going to be the leader of that guild. They're the ones that's going to initiate all the raids. They're the ones who's going to. So whatever time zone the leader is in, is how that reset for the guild is going to be. At least of what I've heard. I don't know if anybody's heard different, but
well, so basically, I kind of addressed this a little bit yesterday. So here's how that works. So let's say, let's give an example. Redemption Wings. He's over in Ireland, so he's on a way different time zone than me. So if he's in the same, if I'm the leader of the guild, it's going to be based on my time zone, which is Eastern time. So the reset timer is just going to be based off my time zone. Now it's 24 hours. So as long as you're logging in the game and you're doing your normal dailies like you've been doing anyways, you shouldn't run into any problems. And really, if you're not doing that, then who cares? You know what I mean? You're not even trying to be competitive anyways. You know what I mean? If you're not doing your dailies. So if you're not logging in every 24 hours, you probably aren't watching this live stream because you're not that hardcore. You're just really casual. So they'll probably never really hear this, or they'll probably just join some random guild that, that anybody can join. That's opened up, in the game. They won't go on live streams. They don't go on forums. But for the majority, the people that watch our live streams, our audience, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. It's just the reset timer is gonna be based on their time zone. So as long as you log in within that 24-hour period, you should be fine.
Yeah, and I just really want to encourage anybody, no matter your player level, wherever you're at, join a guild. And I got to tell you, it offers you a great community asset, sharing knowledge with players. You can make some really good friendships inside of guilds. Also, you will be rewarded for being a part of a guild. And I think what Skunk was kind of mentioning is you're going to have some activities to do every single day, and it's going to be a complete guild contribution to those activities. And they've already confirmed that every single player will be rewarded. So it doesn't matter what kind of input you have in it. At least as long as you try to complete some of those activities, you'll get some additional rewards. Those additional rewards are going to lead to bigger things. We don't know all the facets of it yet, but I can almost assure you that there's going to be new characters in the guild. So you're going to really have to get in there, be a part of a guild, be a part of the community, find a guild that works for you. And I think Lord Skunk is offering a real good opportunity. If you're not sure where to go, you can either go to the official forums, look at all the guilds and all the guild tabs. You can go to the Discord app, look at or the lordskunk.com, I should say. Look at there's going to be a variety out there now that this is a real good feature. But I really do encourage, no matter who you are, send an application, speak up and join some of these guilds.
Yeah, and the other different part too is that we're a community guild. If you decide that you want to join it just to join it because it's new, and then you decide, hey, I'd like to apply to some of these other guilds or whatever, you're more than welcome to do so. We're very simple. There's no application process to join one of our guilds. All you have to do is join our Discord server. Once you're in there, then we'll coordinate and we'll go through that. Now, I'm going to tell you this for a fact. I believe that Team Instinct and Yo-Yoda can confirm this, and I know that Fear the Boot both use the Line app to communicate, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. Every single one of them, if they're going to stay competitive, is going to move to Discord. And I don't have a problem setting up channels just specific for guilds, and I can make it to where only those guilds can go on those channels. We can do that on our Discord server so we keep everybody in the same place. I think a lot of guild masters, as this gets going, are going to reach out to myself or the other operators of the channel or of the server and say, hey, can we get a room in there? Or they're going to try to make their own. I mean, it really makes sense to keep everybody in one because you can talk to people in the general chat and then go into your own private, guild channel if you want. Which we can easily set that up for people. So, that's definitely an option. Now, you cannot chat. Jesse clearly said today, you can only use guild chat in the Cantina main menu or in the guild interface menu of the game. You cannot chat during raids. So that's why we're already set up, primed and ready to go to be kicking butt from day one because of our Discord. Every single guild from the lordscunt.com community is going to have their own chat room where they're going to be able to go in there and communicate while they're doing these raids. So basically, in the game, they're not going to allow you to communicate. So we're going to circumvent that. And it's not text chat. It's actual real live voice chat. Or you can text chat if you don't feel comfortable talking. That's fine. But, you can have your raid leader or guild master or whatever, telling people what to do. Plus, the other huge advantage is that you're going to have all the knowledge of all the other people in one location that's going to tell you how to do these raids, how to do them the most effectively to maximize on the rewards. And we'll do them during the live streams as well. So we'll be able to see Yo-Yodas, I'm sure, some days. You'll be able to see, the when I do them some days. So it's going to be really cool, I think. It's going to add a lot more dynamic even to our streams.
Right. And kind of getting back to these, you mentioned the raids and everything else like that. So part of the notes that were released today, EA Jesse says that there are going to be 7 different difficulty levels for these raids. The lowest difficulty is open to everybody. The second tier is going to require 2 stars, and the third 3 stars, and so on and so forth, with the 7th level being all 7-star characters. And then, of course, you're going to get more rewards, depending on the scalability of those difficulties. So again, doesn't matter what kind of player you are. If you're new, you've only got a few tunes. Join a guild, you're going to get those rewards.
That's exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to grow. It's going to be able to grow our community because, like I said, it's going to give us reasons to interact with other people. It's going to give other people reason to interact, with our stuff. If you're, it's just like it's going to be like the arena board, man. These good strong guilds are going to rise to the top. People are going to know about them. They're going to want to talk to each other. You got Yo-Yo Yoda in one guild. You got me in another guild. You got other guys in other guilds. It's really cool. We're going to be able to pool all that knowledge. And it doesn't matter. We're not truly competing against each other because we don't fight each other or anything like that. It's not like an arena style a thing, but it is cool to be able to see those. I'm sure we're gonna have some type of leaderboards, and we can fight for that number one spot. On the guild leader, whatever it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be called, but some type of guild leaderboard, I'm sure. So it'll be fun.
Here's something that I was really actually glad to see. And that at the bottom of those notes, you're gonna see that you're gonna be able to see the total arena battles won and lost, total galactic war battles won, total sim tickets used, total energy spent, total data cards open, total credits spent. I actually kind of smiled at that because I was wondering if my total credit spent is going to be an infinity sign.
Nice, yeah. We're gonna get some more info on Yo-Yo Yoda's backstory now. We're gonna know all that stuff. So here's what I want to know with the total arena battles won and lost. I really hope that this is defensive as well. I'm assuming it probably is. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah.
Hoping.
It does say total arena battles one of them, so hopefully we can get offense and defense.
Well, and so I kind of looked at this and I'm thinking, they've been kind of alluding to a VIP system as well. So I think in the future, I know they've been tossing around that idea. So they now that they're collecting that information and everything else like that, they might open up like a VIP system so where you can get a little bit of additional rewards as well.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, if you got that survey, which I'm sure you did, it looks like they're definitely doing something. So
yeah, for people who don't know, a lot of different players. I think it might have been random. I don't know if it was random or not, but
they picked the whales, man.
Yeah, well,
they for sure picked the whales.
Right. I got a survey the other day. How can we better your experience? What do you think? This and that. Blah blah blah. I laid it out to them. I've always been saying, if you want to grow a stronger community, they could, lessen some of these prices, offer some, intro prices to beginner players that are a little bit cheaper than, what we're paying. I threw out, I literally almost wrote a book for these people. So,
I did quite a few comments myself. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, and hopefully they pay attention. I know it's through a third-party company, but hopefully they take that data back to them. And one of the biggest things that I put in mind was that basically I think that crystals should be used to buy characters, and it should be used to refresh battles. I think but gearing characters and I guess technically leveling a character, not a player level, but a character, and putting ability mats in should be a lot cheaper. I think once you hit 70, those little challenges for the droids, the credits, and the ability mats should be daily. You should be able to do all three of those every day, because now, kind of the ability mats, the purple ones are kind of becoming obsolete, I guess technically, for your main characters, you don't need them anymore. So I think they should make that so I can use. Here's my thing. This is my point I try to get across to him. And I think Yo-Yo Yoda will agree with this. Is that you have 70 some characters in the game. And that's kind of the point of the game. It's kind of their thing is like collect all the different characters and all this stuff, whatever, that's kind of their tagline for their ads. So give us the ability to play all these different characters. You know what I mean? Hey, if Boba Fett is garbage, that's fine. I don't care. I don't have a problem leveling them up. And if it's cheap for me to level them up and play them if I have them, and play them out and test them out and throw them into Galactic Wars or do something or try them out, I don't have a problem doing that. But I'm not going to invest money or whatever, a bunch of money into him just to get him up there, just because he's Boba Fett. He's not good. He's not at least not right now. So I think it's a waste. So hopefully they'll do that. Hopefully they'll move to that. Let us use all these different characters that they give us, and let us, spend the crystals to get more character shards and to be able to refresh and stuff. That's the way I think they should go with it, honestly.
Right. Yeah, and I think there's a sorry, I was just reading a funny comment in here by Kurt. It says, at Yo-Yo Yoda, The brothers in arms are going to be gunning for the instinct noobs. You're in trouble. I'm sorry, that gave me a pretty good chuckle.
No, I love it. I love that's going to give us more interaction, more trash talk, more fun.
Yeah, more trash talk, more fun. I was contacted by one of their guild members recently. He was trying to pry me for a little bit of information, like, you know, what. So I just sent him my roster, and I said, "I am one of many, sir."
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I had a guy message me, man. I got some people. There's a lot of people that are really high level players or really, you know what I mean, really, and they don't like to talk. They don't like to talk. They don't come up. They're different. You know what I mean? Yo-Yo Yoda, he's been very open about all of his stuff. You know what I mean? On the forums and stuff, which is cool. I'm glad because I'm glad we have people in the community that will show that. That's a really cool thing. But it was funny. I got a couple messages from different people that are like, "Oh yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm definitely in for the guild. I can't wait. I'm gonna put Yo-Yo Yoda's roster to shame." I'm like, that's kind of tough though to put Yo-Yo Yoda's roster to shame because I mean he has every single character 7-starred and he has every single character 70. I mean, how much more could you possibly do? You know, unless you have ability mats and all these characters. But I don't know how you could really get ability mats. I don't know how, even if you're a whale, I don't see how you would get the ability mats.
Yeah,
that would be tough.
You know, to tell you the truth, when you get to the high level, the ability mats, the green and the blues, those are actually the hardest to come by. It's not even the purples. It's
really?
The greens and the blues. Yeah, the greens and the blues.
I
can't keep them.
Yeah, see, that's the difference for me. Yeah, I'm totally opposite. Well, because you got to level up so much basic abilities on all those characters too, right? Yeah,
right. And the Erodium packs open up, the purples for.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, you get a lot of purples in that way. Yeah, I didn't do much with the pack. I didn't get into those Erodium packs. I was kind of out by that point. I already had every character unlocked, and stuff. So, the only character I don't have on my main account is the Tuscan Shaman, I think. And that doesn't really I'm not, super fired up about him. I know he'll be good, but
you know what? If there is other people out there with better roster, then fine. I'm okay with that.
It's just funny because I like how the trash talking is already starting. You know what I mean? These were people that were absolutely silent. I mean, they come to live streams, they do all kinds of. They probably go on the forums and stuff. They just never say nothing about it. But it was funny because now that it's going to be out there more public, especially with this being able to show this stuff that we just went over. What's on the screen right now?
I know there are people out there with equally as good. I know people with better rosters than me. So think about that. I do know people with better rosters than me.
I don't know what this. Hey, we got a good question here. Talan Haraki said, "Who's the best character in the game in your opinion, Skunk or Yo-Yo Yoda?" Do you mean? Are you asking us our opinion on who's the best, or are you asking who's better between me or Yo-Yo Yoda? I don't know what that question means. You need to redefine that question. I know this. I have a better win ratio than Yo-Yo Yoda. I know that for a fact. I have a better win ratio than anybody in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Period. Nobody has a better win ratio than me. I've already looked. I've already contacted EA, and they've already told me. They confirmed it. Nobody has less than 9% loss rate.
Okay.
Nobody.
Well, anyway, for me, and I have like 790 arena wins and like 180 losses because I used to use the arena as my testing ground instead of Galactic War. So I kind of shifted away from that.
We all have excuses. We all have excuses. Even the great ones have excuses.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
but hey, it's all good. I'm hoping though, now that they're doing this guild, hopefully they'll make it where we can battle each other's friends. I just think that would be fun. That would be so cool on a live stream for people to see that, me versus you. You know what I mean? When you can take people that are known in the community, if you look at like Destiny and some of these other games where they got these mega streamers. I mean, people that, like they got 500,000 people that follow them and stuff. That's really cool when they get to go up against each other. So that will be cool if we ever get a chance to do that.
Tassin, he said, me and Yo-Yo Yoda has been playing for way longer and has pretty much every character so we can test them out. Well, it's really relative who you think the best character is. Quite honestly, for me, the best character recently to come up in the ranks has been Royal Guard. That guy is a lifesaver. Qui-Gon Jinn is a crazy good character because he's got so many different abilities. It just depends on how you utilize your characters.
And we also have to look at what do you mean by best character. He said best character in the game.
Right.
If we're just saying arena, that's a different thing. But if you're saying the best character in the game, I think, and I've been saying this for since day one for the most part, I think the best overall character in the game is Luminara. I think.
Yeah. What do you think about a character? What do you think about a character like GS that kind of hits hard, but he's also kind of fast?
Well, I like GS. GS is up there. Yeah, GS is going to be. GS actually has some good utility too. But go ahead, Jonas.
Yeah, I think GS is going to kind of fall by the wayside here pretty soon. I mean, he's going to get a little bit of nerf to his damage. They've already nerfed, the fact that he can, use his assists every turn. I mean, he's still going to be, viable in some squads, but I just, quite honestly, I've been trying to shy away from him recently because he's just okay. I think there are better that can fill his shoes.
Well, I'm thinking I was really concerned about Leia because the whole we didn't know what the speed thing was going to bring. We still don't really know yet, but I'm liking Leia at 80 with that every time she hits, she's going to get 10% turn meter back, and I mean she'll hit 3 turns pretty consistently. Don't you agree? When you play her, yeah, I mean she pretty much goes off for 3 turns or three attacks almost. I would say probably 80% of the time. So she's really good with that. So that's a lot of turn meter back. So I think she'll be good. She'll be stealth the whole entire encounter. So unless you got AOE, you're not going to be able to hit her.
And there are some awesome comments out there, and I'm just gonna say someone put out there at Skunk, you're on a soft server though.
Hey, my server is the same as anybody else's when it started. I just dominated it since day one. I mean, I didn't start when Yo-Yo Yoda started. If I would have started when Yo-Yo started, I would have done the same method. It wasn't like my method's gonna change. I'm gonna do the exact same thing, just like he did. You know what I mean? I mean, he's pretty much controls his server for the most part. I mean, he can pick and choose if he doesn't want to be number 1, he won't be number 1. But if he wants to be, he's going to be. I guarantee that. So
when your server started, how many days or how long did it take you to get to number 1 on your server?
I was number 1 the second day because I refreshed my credits all the way up.
I was number 1. Yeah, I was number 1 day 2.
Yeah, well, when I could open arena. Yeah, so whatever. I don't know if I opened arena the first day or whatever, but you know what I mean, right?
I think when I first started, I went on like a 24-hour binge in this game. So
yeah. Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, especially when you start reading about the forums and all these different people telling you about all these different characters and how this character's OP, that character's OP, and who are those characters? Leia, Old Ben, you know what I mean? All the characters that you have to, you know what you got to do to get them. So yeah, it is definitely. Everybody has their own journey in this game, but right. I think me and Yo-Yo Yodas are very similar. It just he started a lot earlier than me. You started when, December?
No, I started at launch. So that was.
So what was that?
The beginning. I don't even remember. Beginning of November. End of October.
So back then, I didn't start until February. It already started. I was probably like February 4th or something like that. So. But I mean, the thing was, man, just like anybody else, I didn't know anything about this game when I started. It wasn't like I started out and had like some grandmaster plan when I started playing. I mean, I played a lot of games over my gaming career, and I just kind of went with what made sense. And a lot of it ended up making sense because of the way the game was. But I started really right around Qui-Gon Jinn. Probably I got my 5-star Yoda at like level 42. Probably only about a week of playing the game. I did end up getting 5-star Yoda, so that was pretty cool. I'm the only person on my server that has 7-star Yoda that I've ever seen. So
yeah, you are on a soft server then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. Well, I don't understand what everybody tries to chase me, so they try to follow what I do, and I don't think anybody bothered to build up Jedi team. Right. And I never ran Yoda. I never ran Yoda in an arena or anything, so I don't. They probably didn't pay attention to that. But I do have them, and I probably will start using them. I think he's going to be really good. Dazzard said, which character in the game do you wish was good purely because of the character? Personally, he wishes Cad Bane. I mean, for me, I like Darth Maul. I think Darth Maul is a cool character. I think they could do some stuff to him. And then Anakin too. We talked about, outside of arena, I don't think he's, all that epic or whatever, however you want to call it. What do you think, Yoda?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always been a fan of Anakin. I wish they made Vader though more viable. I mean, yeah. I wish we could get him to 7 stars. I wish because Vader
some people have.
Would be, well, yeah. Well, we touched base on that.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that. I heard a little bit of that.
Yeah, if you got a 7-star Vader, ouch for you. But yeah, I mean, I really wish Vader had a bigger impact on this game. I've always been a fan.
Well, I've seen him, and I'm sure you can run him too, because them showed me. Put Old Ben as lead, put the Tuskens in, and put Vader in. It's pretty sick, man. I mean, even at 5-star, Vader looks like he has comparable health as Old Ben at 7-star. So,
68. Well, yeah. Is Stu still on the chat with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he,
been
he
quiet.
doesn't get a word in when me and you are on.
No one else does. Riemann hasn't really said anything.
Would you got the two masters together? I mean, come on, you know.
Talking head.
It
That's what
happens.
we are, man.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'd like to consider myself at least at least an up and coming master.
Yeah, you're a Padawan. We're training you. Well, we like to flex our EPs every now and again. You know, it's just fun. I mean, it's just what we like to do. That's just our personalities. But no, every guest that we have on the call, man, all the guys that are on here right now for sure. I mean, all you guys bring good stuff to the table, and I know Sith Lord Stu, Riemann, Triumphant Games, Redemption. You know, and I'm missing a ton more. I can't name off everybody, but I mean, you guys are super vocal in Discord. I mean, you guys are given one-on-one interactions with players new and old. So, that's really cool. I don't have as much time in Discord, but I know these guys are all over it in there, and they help a ton of people. So
It's been really cool. I mean, I get a lot of messages, private messages from people just asking me questions or my opinion on things. And, listen, I mean, I don't profess to know all the answers, but, I'm definitely glad to give anybody my opinion and try to help in any way that I can.
yeah, absolutely. And everybody, everybody's got a little bit different opinions, and that's good. That's a good thing. If we all agreed on the same thing, man, it'd be a really boring conversation. And that's why it's fun. But just a couple quick questions in here. James said, Edward Skunk, I spent 295 crystals on a training droid mega pack. Was that a good move? Hey, if you got the crystals and you need them, if you need those training droids, that's what you need, then yeah, it's a good move. If that's what you need. If it's if you just bought them just because you wanted to buy them, then maybe not. But yeah, if you're low on training droids, for sure. And then Connor said, Adlord Skunk, is old Ben any good? I think old Ben might be good in the new meta. Now, a lot of people are saying his leadership ability doesn't work right now. I think if it did, you would see a lot of old Bens in there right next to those Dooku's if it did work. Because he's going to give turn meter back. So
yeah, I think it's old Ben's evadability that is broken, and not Dooku's that is broken. So it's definitely old Ben's.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll get all that figured out. Hopefully they'll fix it. And supposedly Darth Maul's too doesn't work as well. That evasion that he does for the Sith, supposedly that doesn't work. Yeah. So hopefully they fix all this stuff. Maybe in the new update they'll make these tweaks. Usually in the updates they fix some of the characters. That's why they fixed Dooku in the last one. But we'll see. But yeah, I mean, you guys, I love all the questions that we get, on the live streams and stuff. Everybody's got great questions, so I really appreciate them.
So I just kind of want to throw out there too, just to the community at large. I've been trying to compile some videos. I did a test run of my first live stream the other morning. I've been trying to put some more content out there for everybody. So hopefully,
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm wanting to talk to you, and I would never can connect with you in Discord. I want to do like we're doing with Stu. I just want you to be able to make you a manager of the channel, and you can do it right here. We already have the audience. They're already begging for content. Everybody on here will take more content. So you're more than welcome.
Well,
to do it on here if you want.
I think it was Stu who mentioned to me that the YouTube gaming app, and I got to tell you, that thing is awesome. It allows me to stream directly from my mobile device. But I would definitely like to be able to, maybe do some live streams. I can let everyone see my roster, see some of these new battles. Because I think I was mentioning a few minutes ago that it's probably going to take me another 10 days or so to hit level 77. And that's when the new Cantina missions are going to open up as well.
I'd love to see those Cantina missions on a live stream. That'd be great.
Yeah. I definitely, that's something that like I said, I'm a man with very limited amounts of time. So depending on my schedule and things like that, like I said, I can see myself doing a live stream in the mornings, some days. And I actually had a really good comment on the one that I did do. There's some folks, obviously in other countries that, can't participate in these live streams because of the conflict and timing. So the ones that I was, doing in the morning, I had a few guys from different countries say, hey, thanks for showing that, so that's what I'm here to do. Like I said, for me, I'm pretty much an open book when it comes to, my account. I don't have anything to hide. I like, help everyone out there develop this community, because there's a lot of big changes coming up soon. And again, I have invested a little bit of time, effort, and monetary funds in this game. And if I can help you out in any way, to avoid some of the pitfalls from the money traps, from wasting your time. I'm glad to help you out with that. But yeah, I would definitely like to do some live streams with you guys.
Yeah, here's what I would really like to do. I mean, this network, I want to build a network. I want this to be our network for this game, and I want people to be able to log in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the world, and be able to look. We got so many people from other countries, man, that that are subscribers and stuff on this channel. But they message me and they're like, man, I watch the replays all the time. Unfortunately, because of the time zone, I can't make it to the streams and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in doing that, and any of our main people. I think I talked to Riemann about it. I talked to a couple of the other guys. You guys are welcome to do it. I mean, we already have the following. We're approaching already. I was telling you guys a couple live streams ago that we hit our over 1 year mark of video watched on the channel. We're almost 7 weeks old on Sunday. What's that? 2 days from now? 2 days from now, we'll be 7 weeks old. We're sitting at almost 2 years worth of video watched. It's crazy, man. It's crazy the amount that this is blown up. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, I want to find other people that will do that, because I want to share this with people. People have already subscribed to this channel. They've already come to the website. They already are part of this community. I would love for some of you guys to put more content out. I can't do. I'm not gonna be able to do live streams 5 days or 5 nights a week forever.
There you go. We just got a comment from Dazzard. He said hashtag Australia represent. He said first stream I managed to make it in. So yeah,
Nice.
We've got people from all around the world. I mean, that's what we're here to do, is really just, like I said, grow a stronger community. Doesn't matter what guild you're in. It doesn't matter what your roster looks like. It doesn't matter if you're free to play or if you're a whale. That's what we're here to do. Just kind of, give you guys as much information that we can, discuss some of the new changes that are coming up. And, that's what I'm here for. That's what Skunk's here for. That's what Stu, that's what Riemann, Redemption. That's what all of us are here to do. And any questions, whatever, that's what we're about.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the Discord, I mean, at any time, I mean, while you're on there, you could be talking to people in Ireland, people in the UK, people in China. I mean, there's people all over the world that are, jumping on the Discord app and just, sharing their thoughts, going through their disgust with their PvP today. It's just a lot of great content, a lot of great opinions, and it's a great place for you to go and just share your thoughts and ask questions and see what everybody else is doing, especially if you're looking for tips on characters to work on. It's a great place to go.
Yeah, and especially it'll be really great when these guilds really do start happening too. So that way you're going to see Team Instinct on number 1 at all times, and Fear the Boot probably, I don't know, 3, 4. What are you thinking, Skunk?
Well, I think the LordScope.com Elite Guild is going to be challenging for that number 1 spot. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fun, man. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to me and Yo-Yo Yoda. I love Yo-Yo Yoda. And I love that we can trash talk each other, and it's fun. That's just our personalities. I love it. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. When we get the guilds going. For a lot of these guilds, I'm gonna tell you from like Fear of the Boot, and I think maybe even Team Instinct a little bit. As a guild, it's kind of frustrating because some of these guilds have been apart a couple months now. 3 months for some of these guilds, you think?
Well, so Team Instinct was one of the first quote unquote guilds. I think right after launch they became a group of guys got together and started that. One of the first on the guild tab there. And so we've been around for a while. We've been a family for quite a while. And I just want to put out there to everybody, if you're a competitive player, if you invest quite a lot of time into this game, we'd love to have you. All you got to do is speak to one of our leadership. I think you can go to the guild tab right now. They changed the application process. We've made it a little bit more streamlined for everybody. So if you're real serious, you want to join a great group, come to Team Instinct. I do think we have limited availability thanks to the cap on members itself, but we're always looking. I can't guarantee I'm not I don't have any say whatsoever in getting you into a guild or anything else like that. But if you're serious about it, if Team Instinct's not the one for you, there's another one out there. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, I think people are going to have some good choices, and I hope here's the one thing that's going to happen too. There's going to be a bunch of these little guilds that open up because people are you have to be in one, so you just got to. I mean, you'll be able to join them in game if you want, if you don't care, But the difference is the organized ones like Team Instinct, Light Fear the Boot, like the ones we're doing here at LordSkunt.com. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be super competitive because we have an infrastructure, we have the ability to communicate, and we're going to be able to coordinate through that. So yeah, absolutely, man, it's going to be good stuff.
So if I just gotta say I'm probably gonna bow out at this point, folks. So for me, it's just about time for me to do some reading and then hit the hay here. So I just want to say thanks again for having me on, everybody. And again, everybody that's watching now, tell your friends, tell your family if they're interested in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Even if they're not interested in Star Wars The Galaxy of Heroes, have them join some of these live streams and participate. We'd love to have you on.
At least log on to their YouTube account and subscribe. I mean, come on.
Absolutely. But for now, that's it for me, guys. And I just again, always a pleasure to be on here with you guys. And Skunk, I'm glad you made it on. Stu, Remon, as always. And I just want to tell the community, grind on, everyone.
Yeah, baby. May the grind be with you.
Take care, Yoda.
Take care, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
I just want to say, John Casey, you keep calling me. I'm not streaming the live stream, so you'd have to send an email to Stu or Skunk to get on the call if you like. But I'm not going to accept the call while I'm on the live stream. So.
Yeah, well, we got some good stuff going. I'm excited for these guilds, man. I think everybody. Let me look and see how many we got on the Discord server right now. I just want to see how many people we got. Okay, so we're going to be approaching 500 members on Discord real soon, so that's awesome. If you guys haven't got on Discord, go over to LordSkunt.com, click on the Discord link. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get over here and join us. But if you're not in here, you're missing out. Well, first off, if you're watching this live stream, you're obviously somewhat hardcore, or you wouldn't be watching this live stream. So you need to take the next step. The next step is getting into Discord and being able to communicate and connect with people. And plus, if you want to join one of these guilds, get in there because that's where it's all going to happen at. That's how we're going to coordinate. That's how we're going to put everything together. So I'm really pumped about it, man. It's going to grow our community bigger for the LordSkunt.com community. It's going to be give us some competitive, fun jabs going back and forth to these other guilds. I think it'll be nice, man. I think it's going to be a good time for everybody involved. It's really going to take the game to a whole nother level. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be fantastic. I mean, the fact now that, some of these characters that haven't been viable for a while, some of these characters that were never viable are going to finally be viable characters now that you can start to really play around with your team and start to try out some different options, some different comps and see what works. I think it'll shake things up and it'll make the game, a lot more interesting.
I think, I know that a lot of people from all over the globe are excited for guilds. They want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of the community. I've gotten a lot of great compliments. I'm sure Skunk has too about the community that's being built on the Discord, that's being built within the channel, that's being built within the chats. If you're new, you can see that we're all starting to know each other. We're helping each other. It doesn't matter if you're brand new. You can say, I've been playing for a month and I just can't figure this game out. Can somebody help me? We can do that. The update that's coming out is going to bring the guilds. It's also going to bring updates to players that, like Riemann just said, is going to help with team comps. We're going to start, and as I said earlier, we're finally going to, it's looking like we're finally going to get to see different team comps. It's not going to be the same, Qui-Gons and Sids all over the place, just painting the town red with those same characters. So I'm super excited for all this. I'm super excited for the guilds. I know Skunk is super excited for the guilds. We can't wait to make them and bring the community together, go on these raids, have fun with it. I can't wait to see Skunk and Yo-Yo Yoda go at it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
If you're looking for information, I mean, check out LordSkunk.com at least a couple of times throughout the day. There's always updates there, new videos being posted, new content when it comes out. If there's a post from EA, it's pretty much going up there almost instantaneously. So, Skunk is really on top of it. So, I mean, if you're looking for for any information or tips or tricks, or just to find an ally code because you want to get some help in your daily missions. Lordskunk.com. Definitely check it out.
Anything to add to that, Skunk? Or are you giving Yoda some love?
Sorry, I had my mic muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes when I try to hit the button, it takes a minute to get. You got to hit it a couple times sometimes to get it back on. But yeah, no, man, I do. I try to keep that updated. I got other people that are going to start helping out, putting blog posts up like that. Because I want to make sure you guys got news and information right there. That's where you can go to find out all your stuff. Definitely check that out. Jump on there. I'm talking to a couple of people that I've met in Discord that have been viewers that are going to help do a little bit more, a little bit better of a website. So more interaction, more stuff for the community, maybe with some message forums and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be good, man. I think it's going to be good stuff. The future only is looking bright for what we're doing. We're growing every day. Just amazes me at how much we grow. So keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep checking out the channel, keep interacting in Discord, and good things will happen. I promise.
And we tested out today in the Discord whether or not you get ally tokens for using somebody else's character, and it does tally up throughout the day.
I'll have to put my Grievous in as an ally then.
You get ally coins if somebody else uses your tune.
Yeah, I'll have to put my Grievous in as a leader then. People will use them like crazy then.
Yeah, if you so for those guys that that aren't doing your missions every now and then to refresh your allies, that's definitely something you want to stay on top of, because you'll see your ally coins go up throughout the day by without even playing the game.
Stephen Hope asked, "What do you think of an Ewok team with Stormtrooper Han?" That was Darktron's original idea. He's posted that a couple weeks ago. That's a really good team. I think that's going to be really good with that turn meter manipulation. The only thing is that people complain about Han because he's got such low health. But think about it. You got Ewok Elder that can revive. You got Ewok Elder can heal as well, and you do have Troopa that can heal. So yeah, I mean that could be a really cool team.
What's mine doing?
Oh yeah, and Yoda said about the Ritual Gaming guys. Yeah, I did send them an email. I replied back to an email they sent me, but they never replied back to me. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened with them, but I'm kind of waiting for them to reply back, I guess, at this point. So we'll see. But hey, just a quick reminder. I just had something pop up in my email. Make sure you guys are going over to the ally codes that's posted on lordskunk.com. You guys were asking for an ally code database for the community, and we have done that. So the veterans, if you got room, go back there and add some of these other people. And then if you're new, you can post your ally code up there. But that's a great resource. And we also have an ally code list on the Discord as well.
Absolutely, guys. If you're not on that Discord, you got to get in there with us, man. It is almost literally 24/7 help.
Yeah, we got a ton. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new people right now that have just joined recently. So we got to welcome. Yeah, we got to welcome all them in here when we're done. But yeah, so once you come in, when you basically come in the Discord, it just shows you is online. So you're in the online status group, and then then we'd like to welcome you to the channel and stuff. One of our team members likes to welcome you, and then we'll promote you to Skunk Nation after we welcome you in, and then then you're moved up to that status. So. But I appreciate it, man. If anybody wants to help out, man, if anybody wants to help out the community, hit me up. My email's in all the description of the videos. Or hit me up on Discord. You can send me a private message on there, and we could talk about it. I had a lot of people reach out and they want to help out. So obviously Stu helps, and all the other people that are a part of the Team Skunk status on Discord, they all help out. So I really appreciate that.
Hey, anytime, and Skunk is always looking for help, and as he always says, he will find something for you to do. All you have to do is send him a message. What can I do to help? He'll come up with something for you. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
To run the channel and really have constant content on the channel, it's going to need a whole team of people. It's not just a one-person job, a two-person job, or a three-person job. It's something where a lot of people can get involved and chip in various different ways. Even if you don't have a talent at streaming or a talent at speaking, you can contribute in other ways. And like he said, earlier, this also can go towards experience for work going forward. And Skunk can be somebody who can give you a recommendation for a job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, put me on the phone with them. That's a done deal. You're in. So yeah, no, it's good stuff, man, and I just appreciate all the hard work that other people do as well. So as my schedule changes, I'm going to become busier and I won't be able to do that, but I know I can develop other people to stream and do stuff, to carry on that torch, and we'll still be able to provide just as good, if not better, content, for the community.
Yeah, I'm gonna be upgrading my equipment and stuff over the weekend and hopefully getting better content and better streaming quality out there for everyone. I'm getting a lot of questions about Magma Trooper in there.
Just aside, I 7-starred my Leia and my TIE pilot today. It's a great day.
Nice,
Wow.
nice.
Yeah, that is a great day for you.
EA's happy.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to bring in the weekend.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, she's good.
Definitely. Okay, so Magma Trooper. Wow, that is a lot of purples. 880. So it looks like he's going to be a little bit of a pain to gear. I have him. I haven't really played around too much with him. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 65% chance to damage another random target. I don't have him that high, but that's pretty hit or miss on that. A lot of times won't even do it. Do that second attack. The thermal imploder, what I will say about that is it has that same really cool sound effect from Battlefront. Deal physical damage to all enemies and remove 30% turn meter with a 40% chance to remove another 30% turn meter. This attack does ignore armor. That can be a really, really cool move on there because of the turn meter reduction and because it ignores all armor. But as a standalone character, I don't think he holds a heck of a lot of weight. His speed isn't too bad. His health isn't too bad. But what I'm hoping here is that we can get an Empire team rolling here. That's what I'm really hoping we can start moving towards. And start, like I said, start moving towards factions, Empire, Sith, Ewoks, Jawas, if we ever get the Jawa Engineer. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. What do you guys think about Magma Trooper, if you guys haven't leveled up at all?
I haven't leveled him up. He's not one that jumps out at me that's going to be, here's something to keep in mind. I want to give you guys some tips, and this is still kind of on topic because you brought up how many purples this particular character is. I just want to, if you got a minute for the hardcore people that have stayed on this live stream this long, and we got quite a few still on here. We still got a good crew still on here. Grab a pen and paper, and I'm going to give you guys some inside scoops on a couple characters that you probably need to keep your eye on, because one of the things that's going to be so big, even bigger than at 70, is going to be gearing these characters. Okay, it's going to be a nightmare to gear some of these characters. So I want to give you some inside scoops on a couple characters to keep your eye on that are going to be super cheap to gear up. So that means you're going to get, you're going to get their max speed and stuff, their max armor, their max health faster than these other characters. That's going to take you longer to gear up. So here that is. I hope you got your pen and paper, or you're writing this down, or typing this somewhere. Number one, one of the cheapest characters to get from 0 to 80, for gear wise, is going to be Poggle. 280 purples for Poggle. Another one that I've been talking about, Qui-Gon Jinn, 360 purples for Qui-Gon Jinn. Awesome kit. Kind of similar to Poggle, though. They're both kind of do the same thing, similar things. But Qui-Gon Jinn at 360 purples with an awesome kit. Also wanted to point out to you guys, I got a couple people on this list. Let me see if I can find my next one. Eth Koth, who's been, kind of, some people like him, some people don't like him. He's again only 360, not bad. Especially if you're still trying to get Yoda. Now, that's who I'm going to next. Grandmaster Yoda, 370 purples. Awesome kit, probably the best kit in the game with the most utility that he offers. I mean, he's just a fun character to play. 370 purples to 80. Dude, that's amazing. Him and Qui-Gon Jinn together are going to be stupid. I'm telling you guys that you're going to see a ton of Qui-Gon Jinn and Yoda. So you might as well jump on the train now. If you missed the Dooku train, or you missed the Qui-Gon Jinn train, or you're played far enough to where you missed the Poe train, I would definitely take a serious, long, hard look at Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn. They're going to be maxed super fast. And then just a couple quick other ones for you guys to know. Geo is still in the game because it's super easy to gear him. I think he's sitting right around 3-something as well, purples. So Geo's another great character that's going to, again, be at max level quick, like Qui-Gon, that you can use. Probably already have him somewhat leveled up right now. And then the Tusken Shaman, which is a new character, which I think is going to be a really good heal if you pair him with the right characters. He's only 350 purples. So, these are some characters there that just to keep in mind because, think about this. Darth Maul, 945 purples. The IG-100 Magna Guard, 1,040 purples. Chewie still is very expensive to gear, 1,090. Night Sister Initiate, 1,010 purple. That's a lot of gear, man. That's a lot of energy and that's a lot of time. Because this gear is not going to be dropped like, is I don't think as regular as some of this other stuff for some of this gears as we had in the past anyways. So, these are characters you guys really want to look at and really keep in mind and consider that moving forward. I've been trying to push that to you guys on the Discord, on the live streams, and on the LordSkunk.com so you guys are aware of that because that's going to put you ahead of other people, I'm telling you.
I completely agree with everything that Skunk's saying. I mean, if you aren't on the Qui-Gon and Yoda train yet, you should definitely get on there right away. Jedis are, going to be good moving forward still. But again, just to backtrack something we were speaking about earlier, I still think that First Order team is going to be something to really look at moving forward. I mean, again, they have, turn meter manipulation, advantage. Some of their, their more hard-hitting characters are going to be getting significant damage increases going forward. I know First Order TIE Pilot does. Kylo Ren will. His, cooldown resets are going to be going to 50%. Pretty much every character in that First Order team gives themselves an advantage.
Yeah. And I agree with that. But I want to say one thing, though. I want to say one thing is that to be the best, you got to be number one. And that's what always made me dominate on my server. I was the first one to 70. I was 3 days ahead of everybody else. I was the first one. I think I'm the only one to have 7-star Yoda that I've ever seen. So being first is key. So these are characters that you can do first and relatively easily have them first. Then you can go back and work on, because you need to have multiple teams anyways. Then you can go back and work on your First Order team. Keep in mind, Phasma, 700 purples. Kylo Ren, 690. First Order TIE Pilot, 800. First Order Stormtrooper, 1,060.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right here on LordSkunk.com.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just telling you guys that there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that, but don't bog yourself down trying to build up, all these purples for these other teams when you can have a viable, legit team right out of the gate at 80, or as you build your way up to 80, right out of the gate, so you're able to compete at a high level in your arena. Because I'm sure they're going to release new characters in arena, so you want those shards. Plus you get the purples. Which is a bonus. So you can take a Geo, Yoda, Qui-Gon Jinn, just like they are now, are still going to be viable when we get to 80. And then, but don't get those guys maxed. Get your main team maxed, and then build your First Order team. Then go back and start chipping away at those guys. That's my recommendation to people.
Absolutely. I mean, a First Order team is not going to be your immediate answer. That's something that's a long-term plan. You got to work on it. Getting First Order Stormtrooper to 7 stars is going to take you a long time. Okay, but what I'm saying is that it's definitely something to look at. But again, if you're nowhere near a First Order team, it's definitely not something to just automatically shift gears to right now. But like Skunk said, looking at the characters that are faster to gear, like Yoda, like Qui-Gon Jinn, that's going to be the way to go to get yourself ready for 80 and be able to be a competitor.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. Just look at it this way, okay? For everybody that's on here, you're going to be far ahead. You guys are the hardcore. You guys are the guys and gals that stay on the live stream, all the way to the end. I appreciate that. So I'm going to tell you right now that I would much rather gear up, get Qui-Gon Jinn to max gear, Yoda to max gear, Geo to max gear. Some of those other characters, I can't remember every single one now off the top of my head, but some of those characters that are much easier. The list is on LordSkunk.com. The full list is there. You can just go pull it up and look at it and start planning now. But I'd rather gear up those characters, make sure they're completely maxed, their speed's going to be all the way up, their health's going to be all the way, everything's going to be done on them. Put them in your arena, rely on them. Instead of doing this, instead of saying, yeah, I think, and I agree, I think First Order is going to be really good too. So, but to go and spend all this time in trying to build a First Order team and then find out for whatever reason they aren't as good as somebody else, I don't want to be knee deep into a First Order team, find out that I got to switch gears and do something else. I'd rather have my A team, which is that team I talked about, the cheaper geared people, have that done. Then I can work on First Order. Then if I have to switch gears, it's not that big a deal. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the stories you guys give me. I love hearing these stories in email and Facebook, Twitter, and all these other places. You guys message me and tell me, hey, I was in the 200s or I was in the 500s. I had people telling me they were in the thousands in arena rank, and I brought them all the way up. Well, I helped bring them all the way up. The top 10. Some of these people #1 spots consistently every day. That's amazing, man. I love that, man. I love that, and I love that there's people on my server. That Darth Plaque, Old Pro, all those people are on my main account server. They're on there too. They're hearing this information. I don't care. I want everybody to be able to benefit from this. I'm not trying to hide anything or keep any secrets from you guys. That's what I think is going to make the most sense, and that's what I'm recommending for you to do. And the people that have followed what I've done have all been successful so far. So.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be transparent. We're trying to. Nobody here is trying to. Keep any secrets from anybody. Everybody wants. Everybody to be able to have a fair, no unfair advantage. Everybody wants everybody to have a fair playing field out there, so that the game can become more challenging. That'll make it more interesting. And like we were talking about, with these new updates. I mean, I think that the ability to be able to switch up your synergies and switch up your teams will only add value to trying out different characters and opening up some characters that haven't really been looked at for quite some time or at all. So I think it can only help the game tremendously.
Yeah, I agree. And in anything in life, guys, here's what my recommendation is: don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Don't go, oh well, let's do Darth Maul, Savage, Boba Fett. You know what I mean? Don't try to reinvent the wheel with this stuff. Stick with what is common. Okay, stick with what's common, and then start looking, for those diamonds in the rough, for those up-and-coming characters, those up-and-coming teams or squads or synergies or whatever. Then do that. But have a good foundation in place first. Make sure you flow with that. Then work on that other stuff. That's just my recommendation to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been saying this all along. Is if you are on the path of something, stay to it. Stay on that path. Stay focused. Finish the characters. Don't start gearing a whole bunch of characters, leveling a whole bunch of characters, because we speak from experience. Once you start getting, level 70, 71, 72, 73, 70, this stuff becomes very expensive. It's time consuming. It takes a lot of energy to start farming some of these pieces. A lot of energy to start farming these pieces. A lot of credits to start leveling up characters. I think it's somewhere. I think it's just below 180,000 credits just to go from leveling a character from 71 to 72. It all adds up. So stay focused. You will thank us in the long run when you have a maxed out team. Even if you want to go Jedi, and someone's telling you Jedi, is bad and don't go for Jedi, stick with that. And then your maxed out Jedi team is going to crush their unfocused Sith team.
Don't get all over the map. That's one of the biggest downfalls in this game, man. You start doing one character and then you switch gears and do another character and then you switch gears and do another character. You never have anything complete. You always have an unfinished arena team. You can't dominate, on your server. So just stay focused. Stick with what you got. And people ask me, they're like, "Here's my team," and some people pick a lot of the wrong people. I mean, so they have a foundation, but they don't have a lot of the key pieces. And I tell them a little bit, hey, focus on Rey a little bit every day. Focus on Royal Guard a little bit every day. If you work on Qui-Gon Jinn, it surprises me how many people didn't go for Qui-Gon Jinn. I get that a lot, man. People send me the roster and there's no Qui-Gon Jinn on it, and I'm like, you better get Qui-Gon Jinn. You know what I mean? That's an easy character to get now. Super easy. So definitely go for him. Brandon Aiken had a good point. He said HK47 lead, 86, 88, GS, and Lumi are killing it on his free-to-play server. So nice. I mean, that's good, man. I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah, that's a good combo. I'm running on mine. I switched Poggle to lead. I'm running Poggle 86, 88 47 and GS, and I'm thinking about pulling out 47 and maybe putting in Royal Guard again, just to give me that little extra breathing room. But we'll see. But primarily on that server, it's all Qui-Gon Jinn, so he can remove that taunt. So it's really tough on defense. But Jonathan Garner said, "I started Qui-Gon Jinn the day it was made farmable." Yeah, man. I mean, he's just got such a great kit. He's probably my favorite character, and he's been on my arena team. He's the only character that's been on my arena team on every iteration since I started arenas. Has been Qui-Gon Jinn. So
and I think we can all back that Qui-Gon Jinn kid up pretty much. I mean, that he's got some great tricks up his sleeve, man. That move wherever he dispels a buff and gives the entire team offense up, man. If you don't have Poggle to give the team offense up, look at your Jedi leader, right there. And I'm sorry, Reman, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to add to Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, the second they dropped Qui-Gon Jinn in Cantina, that was a gift to everybody. I mean, as far as that's concerned, that really opens up a lot of doors for a lot of people, because that character, I mean, if you didn't see him already, was at the top of your leaderboards, for months now, and he's not going away. So as far as that goes, he's easy to gear. He's got a call and assist. He can dispel taunts. He can dispel buffs, and he's fast. And his AI is very good. And he's somebody that should be farmed universally. I mean, pretty much the second that guy dropped in the Cantina, if you weren't farming him, you should be. I'm not saying that if you're in the middle of farming somebody right now that you should stop to do that. Finish the character you're working on. But Qui-Gon Jinn should definitely be at the top of your list if you don't have him already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I just can't think of any other character that if somebody said, you could only have one character on your team moving forward, period, who would it be? I can't think of any other character I'd pick other than him. So, yeah, he's good, man. And like I said, he's easy to get, man. I mean, anybody can get him now.
You can get
it's
him.
Not hard.
He's super easy to gear.
Yeah.
With Qui-Gon and Yoda, you just have so many options. Okay, I mean, the second the match starts, unless they're running the same exact team as you with the same leader, then you're basically given two opportunities to choose where you want to start this match before they can even look at anything. And if you have Ahsoka, that's a third opportunity to choose where you want to go with this match before they have an opportunity to do anything. And that can, in some cases, and I think even going forward with the new health and the extended health and protection, I still think that start will give you an advantage in the match. So as far as that goes, I think that having that ability to choose how to start a match is a tremendous advantage.
DCS says, at team, this is my biggest mistake in this game, swapping characters and not finishing them. Almost 74 and still fixing the problems. Yeah, man, I mean, that's what I was there. I mean, we speak from experience, and we know that problem, if you spread yourself so thin and you don't concentrate on anything, it takes a long time to fix that. This is a game of patience. You need the virtue of patience for this game, and it doesn't matter if you're free to play or pay to play. You can't pay yourself past, gearing up some of these characters. So if you spread out too thin, you're going to have a heck of a time catching up. You will be playing the catching up game for a long, long time. It's just as Skunk said. You have to be the first.
Most of the people that I see out there that are having problems with their roster, when people send me messages to ask me questions about their roster, it's that you see a 4 or 5 star Ahsoka, and then you see a 4 or 5 star fives. You got to make a choice and move forward with that choice, and then see it through. And if you realize you made a poor choice, or if you realize that at that point you want to start working on some other characters, then you can move forward. But if you never finish anything that you start, you're never going to get anywhere. So you're going to be fighting against people that are on forums, on YouTube, on websites, getting tips from other people on how to build their teams, and they're going to be building their teams according to the information that they get. So you want to just pay attention and definitely if you do anything else, just stick to your guns when you pick a character, and don't shift gears in the middle, because all you're going to get is an unfinished product on both ends.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well right there. That's a pretty good summation. All right, John.
Well,
John's taking off. He's a regular, man. He makes every single stream. He's active on the Discord. Look him out. He's John Vapor in the Discord. He'll be happy to help anybody out, as you guys have seen in the chat tonight. Lord Skunk, it is a Star Wars game, so of course Star Wars takes patience. Well, yep. Yep, that's exactly what I said.
it's a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Did he say finish what you start? Call Kylo Ren. That's a good comment, Desert. I will finish what you started. I was thinking of recommending SWGOH over Sid. Thoughts?
I'd say yeah. SWGOH is probably going to be more viable now that they're making defense up, more of a solid buff. So I think that he's a tanky character. If Red Health is now going to take longer to take down because of the fact that these characters are going to be increasing their HP, then his finishing move will be a lot more viable, because again, if it's going to take 2 or 3 hits from another character to knock them out, and SWGOH can come in and just finish them in one shot, that'll be definitely a great bonus to have. Sid, I see kind of, and I think Skunk put up a nice, interesting piece on his website the other day that kind of shows the direction that some of these characters are going in. Sid is somebody that had his day in the sun, and it seems is falling to the wayside here. Now, obviously, if we're talking about more teams being viable and characters being viable, different options being more viable, I'm not saying that Sid is not going to be or have his place in the meta. I'm just saying that as far as SWGOH right now is concerned, he's looking a little bit better than he was yesterday.
Yeah, I like SWGOH. I have liked him. I think he's got a good kit. You attack him, he becomes stronger, and he'll make you pay for it. I mean, that's exactly what SWGOH was, and that's exactly who his character was. And yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Sid has already been falling to the wayside as everyone's gotten closer to level 70 and beyond level 70 now. I mean, he's really, really starting to fall off the wayside. His damage just isn't cutting it. The dots really aren't cutting it, especially now with all these Dooku teams. Everybody who has a Yoda, just start him up, and they're doing tenacity up. First thing, just a guard against Dooku and Sid, and now it's rendered useless. So yeah, Sid's fallen by the wayside. I would definitely, I think I would kind of go that way too. SWGOH over Sid now. What do you think, Skunk?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Sid, but a lot of what he did was the healing immunity, and we don't run too many healers currently. So, it's not really that big a deal. I mean, if Sid puts healing immunity on any of my team members, they don't care because there's nobody to heal him anyway. So, he's a pain. He's still a pain in the Galactic Wars. He's still a good, like Sifty King just said. He's a great for new people on starting new accounts or on a new server or whatever. He's a pretty easy character to open up. I would probably go droid though. Just my recommendation to people. Moving forward, just go with droid. And if you can, some people can, some people can't. But I still recommend if you're new and you can get that droid pack, get it because it's a good boost. To get you going. But for me, guys, I'm gonna roll out for me personally. But I do want to say thank you everybody for coming to the stream. Thank you for Sith Lord Stu for hosting the stream. Thank you for everybody that was on as a guest and all the people that have been on a guest in the past. I love all the great discussion and stuff that we get. So thank you for that. But definitely check out lordskunk.com a couple times a day if you can. Hit up the Discord app immediately. Get in there if you're not in there already. Great discussion. And then again, everybody's welcome to join one of our LordSkunk.com community guilds. All you have to do, people are trying to overcomplicate it. All you have to do is be in the Discord. Just get in the Discord. You're in the guild. There's no application. You don't have to talk to anybody. Just get in a guild. Once we are able to start establishing the guilds, we'll pair you up and put you in the right guild. And over time, we might move people around. But for the most part, just get in there, do what you need to do, participate with the community, and enjoy it. So, and if you haven't done so, follow me on Twitter. Real quick, I posted a link in the chat, but it is just Lord Skunk 1. And I'm also going to post in a link in the chat before I go that goes back to our guild posting on the official forums. If you guys would just go in there and just leave a quick review about the community and whatever whatnot that we're building, I'd really appreciate that, guys.
Absolutely.
Skunk.
All right, guys, and I might do maybe we'll do a little live stream tomorrow. Maybe if not, I'll talk to somebody. Maybe they'll want to do one, because I would like to bring you guys content whenever we can. But if not, I will definitely see you guys back on Sunday.
All right, Skunk, I'll talk to you.
All right, guys.
Talk to you later. Have a good night.
All right, guys, you too. Thanks.
All right, and just to clear up some points on here, we're not saying Sid is like a bad character. He hasn't gone to garbage. He's just not as viable as he once was. Still a great character. I still invested in him. 7-starred him, geared him up, did all that, and just the same with anybody. I mean, the fact that he is geared out, starred out, leveled out on almost everybody's team will show you he's not a bad character. It's just that he has lost some of his usefulness, and now some other characters are starting to shine a little more than him. That's really all we were saying. If it came across we were being harsh on Sid.
Well, yeah, Sid is still. I mean, a great character. I mean, overall, in that in the PvP or the arena shipments, you're talking about him still being one of the top 2 or 3 characters in that entire shipments that you can get. We were just posed the question that who to pick between Savage and Sid, and I'd say with some of the news that we got today, I would have to go leaning towards Asajj right now. I'm sorry, leaning towards Savage.
Yeah,
you caught me with the Asajj thing, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's really the point. We would just take Savage over Sid right now. I actually still run Sid a lot in Galactic War. But what's interesting is that healing block with everything. I'm interested if that would kind of make an impact, because right now healing block doesn't really matter at all. But now that we're having some characters coming down in damage, because some characters do an extreme amount of damage, and now that's coming down. Characters who really haven't done anything to worry about a whole heck of a lot are now coming up. We don't know how the protection thing's going to work. So if it's going to become more about strategy, like EA Jesse said, where they're trying to inject more strategy in here, and when to go, who to attack, when, what's coming up, and you can find yourself in trouble. Why? Because strategy, if you make a couple wrong moves, you can be in some serious trouble. Maybe back to the meta where it was a while ago, where a good time heal can actually turn the tide of a match. We may get into that, and if Sid's out there, or Kylo Ren, or Anakin, or whoever else puts on healing block, has blocked that key character, that could change a battle, and I'm really hoping that is. I want this to get competitive again, instead of just the speed meta where hurry up, kill the other team, we're in and out of the battle in 1 minute. What do you think about that, Reman?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and that's another thing to think about. I mean, obviously with health being important. I don't know how this healing is going to work. I mean, I'm assuming that, again, like, you would have to get through the protection into their regular basic health, and that basic health is the only thing that let's say Barris or Luminara will be able to heal. So, assuming that that's the case, then healers will still be viable, or will become more viable now that damage is going to be more of a thing, or more relevant. So I mean, I think that yeah, I mean, people like Barasofi, people like Luminar could see their way back into PvP again. Healing immunity may become a buff that's worth or worthy of being afraid of. So Sid could be an option with that too. We were just again, like I'm just saying, I think that Savaggio Press has a lot of health. He's also a hard hitting character. His basic does some pretty decent damage. If you attack him, he gives defense up. So I mean, it's like I said, it seems like their update that's coming in a week and a half or so is kind of geared towards defense, which would make me think that Savage Press would be one of those characters that you might want to look at. And Sid may still be viable with his healing immunity if, like I said, if healers come back into the game or come back into the fold here. But that's it's still too early to say. We'll need to see how that works out and how long these matches are going and how much protection these characters actually are getting. I mean, yes, a lot of this is still up to question. Until we see, what the update looks like, but we can definitely speculate and say that certain characters that apply some of these characteristics that they're altering, like advantage and defense up, and characters that are more tanky. We can say that they're going to be more viable in the upcoming meta.
Yeah, exactly. And I just highlighted it for all of you guys to see. Sid has no potency. So, I mean, and it's really hard. So, I think we're going to be wrapping this up here in just a couple of minutes. So, if there are any last minute questions you guys want to get into us, feel free to do so. And we will try to get all of them answered as best as we can. Um, let's go over the community update, see if there's anything we missed. But I think we've pretty much covered everything, guys. I mean, everything about the update. We covered a lot of tunes, a lot of characters, how we think everything's going to work, what we're excited for, what we think you guys should be watching out for. Good advice on, when to start hoarding, what situation you're in to keep on going with everything. So I mean, this has been a great stream. We heard a lot of great opinions from myself, Ramon, aka Riemann. Of course, Yo Yo Yoda had a lot to say, as always. Skunk was able to hop in here and talk to us for about a good solid hour, give us his opinion on everything. He gave us some good tidbits on here. We got to talk about the guilds and what we're building. Yeah, I mean, this has really been good. Do you think Magma Trooper is more of a tank than attacker?
Um, I mean, I think he's a little bit of a combination. He's got some pretty good health, and he's not too slow, but he's kind of in the middle there. Some of those tanks that are tanks like for example, Mace Windu or
The heck is that?
Finn. Some of those characters are hard hitting characters that just have a lot of health, and they're not quite as slow as some of the other tanks. They're kind of in the middle, but they don't necessarily have as much health as some of those slower tanks. So, yeah, I think that Magma Trooper is kind of both a tank and an attacker. But again, he's somebody that is still relatively new to the game, and I'm sure, just like Yoda was saying, there's some different things that his character can do, with his ability to bypass armor. So, uh, being that we don't know how that's going to work with the protection addition to the game, we really need to see, what happens when he throws his thermal detonator. Before we can say, with the new update or with the protection on somebody to say, how effective it is.
Um, got to ask a couple questions here. Who to farm from GW shipments from Sifty King? Right now in Galactic War, I am farming Resistance Pilot. This is an up-and-comer that everyone talks highly about. I've come across him in Arena a few times. He is an absolute disaster. He is somebody that you definitely need to deal with immediately, so long as you don't see like Ray or First Order TIE Pilot there. Yeah, I mean, Resistance Pilot. Everyone speaks highly of him. I've had a chance to talk to Yo Yoda, Skunk, Riemann, Alon. People who have these characters fairly maxed out, and yeah, I'm hearing a lot of great things about him, and also his ability to work with um, a lot of different team comps on there too. So I like him. That's who I'm going with. What do you think there, Riemann?
Yeah, I agree. If you're looking for, like a solid character to add to a lineup, Resistance Pilot is definitely, probably the best way to go in there right now. But honestly, it depends. It depends on what stage of the game you're at. If you're just starting out and you're looking for the first character to farm out of GW shipments, I'd say Luminara. Go for her. I'm just when we're talking about Resistance Pilot, we're talking about people that already have a 7-star Luminara or a 7-star Poggle ready to go with their droid team. So whatever team, the most important thing to know would be whatever team you're working with already would affect the best choice that you could make in Galactic Warshipment. So if you're running a droid team, I'd say the next best option for you would be Poggle if you don't have them already. If you're running a Rebel team, I'd say the next best option for you would be Biggs Darklighter. If that's the best, if that's the way you're going. So there's a lot of different ways you can go with this, but if you're just looking for a solo character that you can add to a team that hits really hard, Resistance Pilot's the way to go.
And somebody asked who is the tankiest of tanks, not the best tanks, but the tankiest of tanks. Um,
Night Sister Initiate.
Night Sister Initiate at level 70, believe it or not, has the most health in the game. At level 80, that changes. Royal Guard is actually going to have the most health in the game. So obviously, and remember, please keep in mind, these projections can change, but the way it's looking right now, Royal Guard is going to have the most health in the game. Night Sister Initiate is going to be right under him by 1,000. Fives, First Order Stormtrooper, Barris, Old Ben, Chewbacca, Tebow, Finn, Kit Fisto, Magna Guard, Vader, Tusken Raider, and look who's showing up right here, Kylo Ren. That's right, guys. I looked at his 70 and 80 stats, and I know I've brought this up before, but he is getting a huge boost in health. He's getting like 7,000 points of health added to him between 70 and 80. Now, like I said, I mean, this could change, but as the projections go, he stands to be pretty fairly tanky over people that are considered tanky, like Savage Opress and Magna Trooper and I'm a Gundy and Captain Phasma. So, it's something to keep in mind for everybody that is going for the First Order teams. I mean, of the most tankiest people out there, you do have First Order Stormtrooper, Kylo Ren, and Captain Phasma right there. And what is this, the top 20? There you go.
Yeah, Kylo Ren is really a character to look at. Again, I keep talking about this First Order team, but Kylo Ren is not only going to get more tanky, okay, but like we were talking about earlier with the healing becoming a factor again, he also does inflict healing immunity and damage over time.
Yes.
At the next level, his basic attack is going to give you damage over time plus one more turn. Okay. They're also going to be changing the mechanics to damage over time going forward. So when that actually does happen, your characters that are there in GW, when they're at 0 health there, and it looks like you don't even know why they're still standing. Yeah, they're going to be dead. So what that means is, damage over time will become more of an important factor in the game as well. Because if you get somebody at low health and you give them that damage over time, now you'll be able to actually knock them out of the game if their health goes completely to 0 without being hit again. So you won't have to waste a turn on hitting that character to knock them out of the game. On top of that, Kylo Ren gets a 15% increase in his AOE, which will get a 50% damage increase, which will be giving him a ton of damage with his AOE. his reset cooldown will be going to pretty much 50%. So every other time he gets hit, his cooldowns will completely reset, and he'll be able to hit you again with his lash out and hit you again with his rage. He's going to be able to last a lot longer now with that increased health, 7,000, like Stu said. And he overall, I think, is just going to be one of the better characters in the game. And that lash out, if he does actually get to below 50% health, can almost knock a character out of the game right now with with somewhere around 75% health. So if he crits on that, I've seen him hit upwards of 10, 11, 12,000 on a crit. So he can definitely do a lot of damage with that move. And again, on top of the fact that he's going to be tanky, every time he does his AOE, okay, he also puts up retribution. Okay, and that means that's again going to make him a character that people are going to want to stay away from. So on top of the fact that he's going to have a lot of health, people are not going to want to hit him, because every time you do hit him, there's a chance that he can refresh his abilities. He's going to be able to do that AOE all over again, and then he'll have retribution again. And then you again are not going to want to hit him because he will have counter. So he's definitely a character that has a really cool kit and has a ton of potential moving forward. I mean, I like I said, I can't stress how much I think this first order team is going to have a lot of synergy and be a great option in the new meta.
Exactly. We're being asked by Drop Switch Gaming, should I keep farming 5-star Kylo to 7 stars? Well, I think we kind of answered your question there.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have him at 5 stars already, finish him off, okay, and get him to 7 stars, gear him up. I mean, again, he's not the worst in the game to gear, okay, but what you get with Kylo Ren, like I said, is somebody who's going to last, a lot longer than some of your other characters out there, and somebody who hits pretty decently hard, has some moves that even if you get to a point. I mean, I've had matches where when I was using Kylo Ren in my PvP, a while ago, he was able to at the end of a match, if you get to a point where you're in a one-on-one, Kylo Ren with his lash out will knock out, or is out. I think it's outrage is the move that does the most damage. I got to look at. No, it's yes, it's the outrage will knock a character out of the game if he crits. So I mean, you'll just be able to out of nowhere just jump out and just knock somebody out. If he gets below 50% health anyway. So like I said, he's a character that people are going to want to stay away from, and he's also a character that if they do attack, is going to inflict a lot of damage on that other team. I think a combination of him and again, like we were saying before, Darth Maul would be great to put together. Obviously Darth Maul is a pay-to-play character right now, so I understand that that's not somebody that everybody's going to be able to go for. But if you are, going for Darth Maul, it's definitely somebody that's worth 7 starring if you're close to it.
Absolutely, I agree. Okay, then I think that might. Yep, I think that is gonna just about do it. And guys, if you haven't already done it, please subscribe. Skunk did post his Twitter on there. Feel free to follow him. If you haven't done it already, we're going to keep on hammering this home because it is such a great tool. It is absolutely free and has helped out so many people. Get the Discord app. Get on there. Join our Discord channel. It helps out so much. And one of the things that I want to point out about Discord is that you can take the screenshots of your roster and send them to us directly. Whether you can private message me, Sith Lord Stu, you can private message Riemann, you can private message Lord Skunk, you can private message Yo-Yo. You can do it in the general chat. You can even get on the voice chat when we're all in there. And Riemann can attest to this. I mean, we talk for hours about the game. We answer questions. And you can get, at any one time, all of us in there at one time. And we're scanning the streams and just asking questions. Post a picture of what you're talking about. What other characters do you have? And somebody can ask a simple question like, I want to swap out Sid with who? Okay, post your roster. Oh, okay. Well, you need to do more than that. And we can help you. We can help you tweak things further than what you think, because you may have a character that you don't think is very good, or you don't think would be good with the team that you're running, and we can help you. We can say, well, if you put this character in there, then this will happen, and this character will boost this character, and this character will help this character out, and now you have more turn meter. It's just things that we can do to help you. So Discord is great. It's free. There are no joining requirements. I get asked this a lot. There are no requirements for joining. You download the app, you click the link, you accept, you're in. You want to add anything to that, Riemann?
Just to answer, there was a comment here. Feather Zebra asked, "What does anyone think of this? Kylo, Lumi, Barriss, Dooku, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Sid." Well, she put like a slash between Barriss and Dooku, saying she could alter either of those. So, just to comment on that, I'd say, if you're talking about just those characters, I would go with a Dooku lead with Luminara, Kylo, Qui-Gon, and Sid, and see how that works for you. Sid with Dooku lead will get basically 50% evasion, and Luminara hits pretty hard, so for a healer, so she can definitely help out. And like we said, Kylo Ren's definitely somebody that you may want to.
You there, Riemann? Did we lose you? Okay, I think we lost the call on there. That's the way it's looking right now. But okay, so yeah, I agree with everything he was saying. Go with that team. The Dooku lead, I know we all hate it. I know. I've been sifting through the Dooku hate for about a week now, but it is working. There's no doubt about that. You pretty much cannot deny that. So, yep, I think that's it for tonight. Like I said, great stream, everybody. I'll see you guys all in the Discord. Feel free to message me with any questions that you have. I am starting to build a list for the guild and who wants to be leaders, who wants to be officers, and stuff like that. It's already getting pretty full. Yeah, exactly. Riemann, Bueller. Oh, look who wants to hop back on right as I'm trying to leave. Should I let him back on? Yeah, let's do it. He's been a good sport. Riemann.
Hey, what's going on? I lost you there for a second. I got a call while I was on the phone.
Yeah, I know. Skype is so finicky, man. So finicky. You try to do anything beyond, just the call that you're on, and everything shuts down. Yeah, I finished up your thought there, and yeah, I basically agreed with everything, and I touched real quickly on,
really good stream.
What?
I think that was a really good stream.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just wrapping up right now, saying my goodbyes, and I thought that I would let you back on the call and say your goodbyes to everybody.
Oh, great. Yeah, yeah, definitely appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad I was able to share my thoughts, and I think that everything's going great with this community. Like I said, like Stu was saying, go over to the Discord. We'll be there in chat, right after this, and if you guys have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Stu's here to answer them. Skunk's here to answer them when he has, and if you just want to chat or join, in the banter, you're more than welcome. And we're putting together guilds and getting people in the community together on that end of it as well. So if you're not in a guild and you want to be a part of one, come over to the Discord and we can get you on lordskunk.com's guild.
All right, excellent. All right, guys. Well, we may be streaming some content for you tomorrow and everything. I'll get together with Lord Skunk and we'll figure it out. But until then, we'll see you.